should be good. Yo, you can hear me?
Yo.
No. I gotta turn off the. I gotta get off the phone one. Yo.
I'm talking about real life killers, real life niggas, bitches that'll make you go whoa. We talk about real life haters, real life winners, niggas that be spitting that flow. You don't know who I know.
All love, brothers.
You don't know who I know. You don't know who I know.
Yo.
You say you want the story?
You don't know who I know.
That means he getting the blunts, but he ain't getting the raps and shit. Okay. He getting all the essentials. Bro, whether you want to claim it or not,
you a journalist.
That's it, bro. You got songs. I'm not a rapper. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can say whatever you want. You, like today, you can be a kitten, you can be a squirrel.
Right. Real talk.
But what are you gonna do? We recording?
Mi gente, sipping on Corona, modelo presidente. La cultura was shown in mi mente. I'm so cold, but my flow caliente.
I'm saying, but people they can see already.
Tengo mucho suerte. Aquí con todo el mundo latino.
People can already chime in and see or
love Bacardi con jugo. And shout to my Mexican eating menudo. Both got the baddest bitches with the baddest culo. I'm a domino, copy cool, smooth, copy chulo. I rip la Isla Bonita, Carolina, San Juan to Aguadilla. Shit pochata, de piña colada, dance en la cumbia, reggaeton y salsa. And you ain't got no wins in mi casa. Latinos unidos, we do it for la raza. Antes habían dos muchachos que siempre eran amigos. Uno de la isla Puerto Rico y el otro de México. Huepa, órale,
Fire, yo. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's what's up. You know, I'm in Michigan every week.
Oh, what?
Yeah, I'm just not I'm just not able to have like free time to do shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I drive a truck right now. You know what I'm saying? So I'll be in Michigan every week. And Detroit used to be my route, so I was in Detroit you know what's funny? I don't have it like how y'all would have it. You know what I'm saying? That kind of goes into like knowing your hood demographics. You know what I'm saying? I knew certain areas of Detroit based on the dealerships that I was going to. You know what I'm saying? To drop off cars and shit like that. So for me to know like different sections out, man.
Oh yeah, with dealerships out here, I already know he was probably going on downtown area because you know down on Jefferson.
Oh, I used to be right there by the what's that tall ass building? What's that? The GM, right? GM, right. Well, I used to be right there. That's right by the water. You know what I'm saying? So you can see the casinos and shit across the water. You know what I mean? Like you like, damn, these motherfuckers stunting on Detroit. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to stunt on you. But nah, you know what? Real talk though, I love Detroit. I'm not even saying, you know, such a political shit to say right on your fucking show. Think you better, right? Nah, but real talk, I literally used to go to Detroit every fucking week, every week. Now don't get me wrong, it is it you have to be from a Detroit to kind of love a Detroit. You know what I'm saying? So, even though I grew up in Jersey, New York was something that was deep rooted in my DNA. Plus, having family there, going there, weekends from time to time, months from time. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes how it is. It would stretch. You know what I'm saying? It wouldn't be every weekend. You know what I'm saying? But the point is, growing up, uh, with that love for a city that I was born from, but I just wasn't raised in. But then I moved to New York after I graduated high school. You know what I'm saying? That's when I had met my ex-wife. She was born and raised out there, so I ended up living out there for a good 8-9 years or so, something like that, 7, 8, 9 years, and then moved to Florida. Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. Get to it.
Good evening. It's time. Yes. On behalf of the Hood Smoker Podcast, we would like to say, as the list of legends keeps continuing to go on and on and on, we keep the questions strong. Other platforms stir the pot, you don't have to take that. Other platforms do that every, you don't have to take that. Get your smoke, get your drink, get all your cake snacks, and get ready for the Hood Smoker Podcast. Welcome. Welcome.
Hood Smokers Podcast on Wednesday and Saturday night. Gutta and brotherkingx and Blatonio Todd. Hood Smokers Podcast on Wednesday and Saturday night. Gutta and brotherkingx and Blatonio Todd.
What up, though? What up, though? What up, though? What up, though? Welcome to the Hood Smokers Podcast, episode 330. We got a special guest tonight in the motherfucking building. We got motherfucking, I'm just gonna cut to the chase. GQ, the embassy is in the motherfucking building, y'all. I know y'all done seen them. If you a Hood Smoker fan, then I know y'all know who GQ, the embassy is, because we rock with y'all, you know what I'm saying? And we got mutual homies and shit. And it's all up, but tonight we're here to celebrate you. So let's get it popping. I'm Jay Gutta. We got
Give anybody who doesn't know like a intro, brother. Welcome to the show.
Right. I appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? Let me get the. I don't know if you can hear my sound effects, but you know what I mean. I got the hand claps. But yo, appreciate y'all. You know what I'm saying? That was a dope intro. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate that, man. How's everybody doing today?
We good. Shout out to Glasgow, Scotland in the building. Parkhead boy, we international. You know what I'm saying? Hip hop international.
Scotland watching.
Nice.
Yeah. No, but what I was going to say is like, yeah, if you want to give a breakdown for anybody who don't know, or even just a refresh, for anybody like, what,
who I am.
Yep, exactly.
Currently, right now, I am co-host with one of the craziest people I've ever met in my life, Cuban with Off the Books podcast. You know what I'm saying? Also co-host to Check the Rhyme Radio and 420 The Buzz. So, I'm out here.
And then from what we know, also you do a lot of like documentary work and stuff too.
If you've checked my YouTube channel on Check the Rhyme Radio and stuff like that, I do a lot of low life coverage. Being a low life Orlando member, brother, associate, family member, whatever you want to call it. I get a chance to video document events, and then I put things together and put the videos out. So if you've seen that, then look, it kind of puts me in that space without me like really putting myself in that space on purpose, if you will. I guess it's inadvertent. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But I appreciate it. Accolades are dope.
All hip hop, yeah. Yeah.
That's what's up. And I do music too. I'll throw that out there.
I heard your material.
I've been bumping your music. Your shit is dope. It's dope. And then, like I said, we got mutual homie Kiki Smooth and shit. How'd that all come about? How'd you hook up with Kiki?
So the song that you were playing earlier, Unidos, that was Latinos Unidos. That was my concept. Was coming up listening to beats and ended up selecting that instrumental, and I was like, man, this sounds like this could be Puerto Rican or Mexican. You know what I'm saying? So so then I'm like, ah, damn, I need to get like a Mexican, dude on this to like kill it. You know what I mean? So I'm like, damn, I don't really know too many. You know what I mean? Like I really, no, I love Mexican people, so it's no disrespect. But
Oh yeah.
I wanted, I had a certain sound. I had a certain sound that I was like looking for. You know what I'm saying?
Word.
And so then what happened was after I wrote the song, hook and everything, because I like when I work with someone, I like to entice you. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Get your attention. Like, so I come with the verse, the hook is ready. All you got to do is you know where your slot is, because I'm gonna send you the whole joint with your slot. So you already hyped, like, oh shit. You know what I'm saying? And I always get my engineer. Shout out to Mixed by Genocide. I'll get him to like kind of pre-mix it so it sounds, you know what I'm saying, like kind of good, decent to hype you up. So anyway, I write this joint, I record it, and I'm like, okay, I need to get obviously I want a Mexican MC. So the two that I knew at that time, what one was like super ridiculous lyrical like, you know what I'm saying, like he's the Flash MC, like he's phenomenal. So and he goes by the name of Mad Ills. I don't think he even knows this story, to be honest with you. So so in my mind, I'm like, yeah, I'm not trying to ask him. So because he would be too dope. So then the only other person that I had at the time was a dude. I don't know if you guys know him, but he goes by the name of Pause One.
We're not familiar. No.
Yeah, you definitely Google him, look him up. You know what I'm saying? He's you know what I'm saying? He's one of those real ones. You know what I'm saying? And he's Mexican. You know what I mean? But he doesn't go under the moniker of being a Mexican rapper. He just goes under being an MC, which you have to fucking salute that shit. 21 gun that mother. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just gotta love that guy for that, just for that. And he's an amazing artist. And he's my guy. So anyway, I thought of him. I sent him the track, and it didn't take long. And he got back to me and he was like, yo, this record is kind of like out of my range, right? He's like, but I think I know somebody that would be good for you on this track. So I said, all right, cool, no problem. I trust you. I said, the Mexican, I mean, I don't want to be, I'm not trying to, like, you know what I'm saying? But it's a Mexican, Puerto Rican, AKA Latino, unity shit. You know what I'm saying? But it's just to show we got two different right here. That same result can be any. You know what I'm saying? And it doesn't mean just Latinos. It could be black. It could be white, Asian. You know what I'm saying? All that. You know what I mean? But the point is, right.
Real talk. When I like those songs you discuss, it's for the simple fact put it in the stereotype of Latino people's not getting along.
Yeah.
It kills
that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You hit it right on the, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you definitely hit it on the head.
I don't know where it could work with.
No, he's right. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes, let me tell you, there's division between a whole lateral. You know what I'm saying? It's like it could be a lateral movement of Latinos. Right? I mean, like, what would you guys have any issues? You know what I'm saying? And it's just a coexist thing. At the end of the day, all Latinos need to understand this: we were all conquered. You know what I'm saying? It's the reason why we speak Spanish, because we all couldn't beat Spain. You know what I'm saying? Like, they did us. You know what I'm saying? But then eventually they whatever, when they left, and now we have other people that are suppressing us. So there it is. You know what I'm saying? But the point is, we
What
shouldn't be beefing with each other. You know what I mean?
what we need to realize is that Latinos and Black people, we are one of the same people. The only difference is the colonizer.
Right. Exactly. You know, and in the Caribbean islands, you know what I'm saying? The Caribbean Latinos, this is the route of the slave trade. You know what I'm saying? So, this is where the slaves first got dropped off. So anybody here in America that has, you know, ancestry that's tied to slavery in America, just know this: they could have easily been dropped off in Cuba or Dominican Republic or Puerto Rico. Like it didn't. You know what I'm saying? It didn't matter. It's just a supply and demand thing, and a tragic supply and demand route that, you know, trickles all the way to the to America. Now, now, mind you, we ain't taking away nothing here in America, because who's bigger, the islands or the United States, right? So and then on top of that, you know, the what you would call, like, you know, the eugenics breeding, right? Because, you know what I mean, it's tragic regardless. But the point is, you're right, man. We all connected in first of all, when it comes to Caribbean Latinos, the least amount, I believe it is like 15 to 20% African. You know what I'm saying? So right there, you already know you have you know what I'm saying, you have a connection. You see what I'm saying? So we need to stop beefing with each other. It's just a matter of just understanding one side. Like, for instance, I want to conclude, you know, how I met Kiki, but a lot of times what ends up happening is, when you have a race that's in a country and they're already here fighting for their rights, right? And they're being suppressed, and then, you know, it becomes this whole, you know, movement, which is how it's supposed to be, because the revolution needs to, you know, form, needs to be televised, and it needs to win. But for the most part, they're here struggling, doing their thing, and then you have another group that's migrating from another country, island, wherever it is that they're coming from, and now the group here is fighting for, like, job equality, you know, the right pay that they can't even get based on who they are, their race. And then you get a group that's like, yo, they're snatching those up because, like, shoot, it may not work for you, but it's gonna work for me, because I just, you know, I got family back in this, you know what I'm saying? And then it starts to become this tension, and then it starts to form into a bigger thing, and then their kids have to hear about it, you know what I'm saying? And that continues and eventually there'd be a generation where they're like, look, I don't have a problem with this person, this and the third, about that. Is the evolution, to me, of hip hop, and how we should all understand each other, that it's okay to be different. Just don't mock, just, you know what I'm saying, don't mock my difference. You know what I'm saying?
Real talk.
So to kind of get back off the exit, so we get back. So with Kiki, right? Yo, this is what I'm talking about. This is that real, you know what I'm saying? So with Kiki, when Pause, you know, he was like, yo, I'm gonna hook you with someone that I think is a better fit. Kiki was the one that he hit up. So we kind of linked through, you know, through IG group, you know what I'm saying, through text message. Kiki was like, yo, I love this record. It's the dope joint. And then he did his verse. And when it was time to record the video, you know, I flew out to LA, to Watts. You know what I'm saying? I flew out to LA and I went to Watts, and we linked up, this, that, and third. But we ended up not really getting to shoot the video. But it wasn't a waste, because I already had a video set up with a song that I had with Mellow Man Ace that same weekend. It was like a 2-for-1. And we'll get to that. And yeah, you heard. Shout out to Mellow Man. So what ended up happening was, we just, you know, I was out there for a whole week. We just ended up getting to know each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, just bonding, chilling. And it was like, yo, bro, it's the illest shit. Like, I feel like I've known your ass for like 100 years. He's like, yo, dead ass, like, you know, the same thing. And I was like, yo, that's what's up. And we just rocked out, and it just started to form into this, you know, this brotherhood. You know what I'm saying? And we've done other songs before, and then eventually later on, you know what I'm saying, we shot the video for Soulful, but at the same time we were like, yo, you think we should do Latinos Unidos? Like, yeah, we should do that one. Did it? So Kiki found the location, and we did 2 videos in one day, Latinos Unidos being that one. But the point is with Kiki, it just formed into a brotherhood. You know what I'm saying? That's my guy. That's the broskies.
Shout out Kiki Smooth. First
Yep.
Latino
Rock
rapper
him.
to sign the Ruthless Records. You know what I'm saying? For
Yeah, nah, for sure. Let me tell you something. Kiki got his own legacy. You know what I'm saying? Like it's the illest thing, man. You know what I'm saying? Like you know what I'm saying? With me and Kiki, it's almost been like we the average person doesn't get to be around some of the people that we were blessed to be around, just like the average person don't get to do what you guys are doing, right? You know what I'm saying? You get to meet all these people, some connected, some not really, but who cares? They're grinding. Who knows who they're going to be tomorrow? Let me tell you, because that content going to be valuable. But the point is, you know, you're doing something that the average person won't and can't do, right? So with that being said, you know, Kiki and I, it's almost like we've been able to be at least the fly on the wall. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, and we're happy, you know what I'm saying? We good with that. You know what I mean? It is what it is. But we've also been able to participate in major ways. So we just still like
Shout out Kiki Smooth.
you brought up that
anything you
song.
need.
That's Kiki back on.
I
Oh
gotta
yeah.
ask
Yeah,
you
you know.
because I know Blatonio's died. No, you brought up that song about what you did with Master Ace, and like I said, I've been bumping your music all day while I've been
Mellow Man,
running
Mellow Man Ace, Mellow Man Ace.
my man, my bad.
Yeah. Shout out to Master Ace. He's gonna be coming out, you know what I'm saying, to Orlando performing at the Low Life event. You know what I'm
No, but
saying?
I
I
heard
believe it's
in
May,
your
May
lyrics and
16th to the
shit.
18th. Say again?
I heard in your lyrics you said Kurtis Blow was my teacher.
Yeah.
And I know
Yep.
you rock with Kurtis. I seen him on there with you and Cuban. I see that
Yeah.
I seen him you interviewing him. I think it was on your radio show. I was watching
I've had Kurt on like 4 times, 4 or 5 times. he's always been my cheat code, but
Phenomenal, man. Yeah. I could say I'm also, you know, that's the reason I rap. This is like Kurtis Blow is.
Yeah, man. And you know, I've known Kurt for I want to say about maybe 30 years now. You know what I'm saying?
So
Yeah, something like that. 30,
yeah.
30,
Shout out to
25.
Kurtis Blow.
Let me see. I've been in Florida since 04, 20, maybe like 25, mid 25. Either way, I'm definitely in the 20s for sure, mid 20s. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
That's what's up, man. That's dope.
Yeah, it was crazy too, because when I met him, that was so the guy at the time that was managing me, shout out to Kenny, wherever you at, my brother, and my condolences. He was about to sit down for a while, so he tells me, he goes, hey, Kurtis Blow is going to be having some type of project, this, that, and the third. I'm gonna have to sit down for a minute. Here's his number, and give him a call. I'm like, what? He was like, yeah, just give him a call. If he doesn't pick up, just keep calling. Just, you know what I'm saying, like every day. And I was just like, man, this is crazy. So I did for maybe, I don't know, a week, 2 weeks, I don't know, something like that. And I stopped. Maybe not even a week. Probably, I ain't gonna lie. I might have did it like 3 days. I can't remember. But the point is, I left a message at one point, and I think a few days later, he called me back, and I had told him how I got his number, and it was a little weird because he didn't sound like oh yeah, nah, that's my boy. He was like oh okay. And I was like, you know, do you,
Not like the Kurtis Blow was on. Yeah.
nah, he was like, okay. So I was like, to me, I'm like, oh man, I don't know if I'm supposed to have his number. So then I tell him like, you know, listen, he just told me to give you a number. He said you had a project. I don't know if that's true, you know what I'm saying? And I'm an artist. And he was like, oh, okay, all right. You know, I'll tell you what. I'm gonna be in the Bronx on this day. I'm gonna be at the dry cleaner or something like that. Meet me, or maybe it was in the storage. I don't know. Anyway, he's like, So we go, I meet up with him, and he's dealing with whatever he's dealing with. And I'm in my work van though, so I'm over here like, yo, I gotta I'm pressed for time. You know what I'm saying? Like I got all day. So then we linked up right like a couple minutes after that, after he was done, and he was like, yo, which way you headed? Because I need a ride home. So I was like, all right, fucking wherever you at, wherever you going, I'm going. So he wasn't too far. So in that ride, I was able to play some music, and he was just like, yo, this shit's crazy. And at that time, I was in a group. You know what I'm saying? We were the worst name, but it was real. We were the Wild Spicks. You know what I'm saying? That's literally what our name was. Wild Spicks. You know what I'm saying? But check it out. Yeah, nah, it's but it was Spanish people that control killing shit. Nah, it was an acronym, Spicks. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So which was dope. Shout out to my man Fats, because he came up with that shit. I can't even take credit. But the point is he heard our material and was loving that shit. But at the same time, he was just like, yo, I want, I only got room for like one writer. So you're here, I'm gonna deal with you. You know what I'm saying? So I bet. So in my mind, I'm like, yo, this could be an opportunity. You never know. You blow up, you take the crew and you back, you know what I mean? I don't know. But the point is, I just wanted to capitalize on whatever opportunity I can, it was fucking Kurtis Blow, you know what I'm saying? You're like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? It's not like, I know a Kurtis Blow, and you're like, oh, you attach yourself to that motherfucker because you just like, any way that I can get, I'm right here with Kurtis Blow, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah. So I was like, it went against everything that I was standing for at that time. It was for ghostwriting. I was against ghostwriting. It was how should I say it? If that time in that time, we're dealing with my brother Pun is out popping. We got Mobb Deep and they killing it. You got Nas, like, you know what I'm saying? This is what hip hop looks like at this time. You know what I'm saying? And then so then working on this project, I'm thinking like, oh, we're gonna be doing some, you know what I'm saying? Like some crazy, this is what we're working on. Some Mobb Deep, Pun, Nas type shit in my mind, right? And it ended up being like some real at the time, I called it like old school, like, you know what I'm saying, sound, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, what the fuck? Like, I'm gonna need to smoke a lot to write to this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like that. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I was so honored to be a part of it, you know what I mean? And I did it. You know what I'm saying? I penned a few joints, you know what I'm saying? I collect no royalties. But I penned a few joints. I do get writers credit, so I will say that. But you know what I'm saying? I do think there needs to be a check for writers fucking credit. I don't know if there is. But the point is, so yeah, I did a few joints, and Kurt was also working on a documentary, and we shot a whole documentary, but it just never dropped. So fast forwarding, all that music, I'm like, damn, what, that was a waste. You know what I'm saying? Great experience, but you're like, damn, you didn't even get to do nothing with it, right? So a few years passed, and I by then I already moved to Florida because I was living in New York at the time. And I'm watching 10 Years with the Bloods. You guys ever see that documentary?
No, I never seen that.
10 Years with the Bloods, yeah. Oh, yeah.
10 years. It's called 10 Years with the Bloods, right?
Yep.
So it's I think it's directed by I want to say directed or produced or written or all the above. Who knows? But anyway, it's a Tommy Sowards film documentary. Yeah. So he spends 10 years with this, documenting this guy from the Bloods, right?
I think I might have heard it.
And so it's I'm watching this shit because I'm a documentary guy, and in a few minutes or so, I don't know when because it's throughout. I started, you have music in the background, got the narrator, you got the shit that's going on, and then you got they have music. Well, the music it was real faint, but I could still, like, if you concentrate, you can pay attention to it. You know what I'm saying? So throughout the documentary, I'm over here like I'm watching this shit, right? And I'm like paying attention to the dialogue, but at the same time, I'm like, yo, there's things in the background. The music sounds fucking familiar. Why does it sound familiar? And then another scene in the documentary, you know, is going, and I can hear the music again, and I'm like, no, this shit. I'm not going crazy. I know this. What the fuck? And then all of a sudden, I can hear my voice on it. So I was like, what the fuck? So when I got a hold of Kurt about it, he was like, yeah, you know, since we never did the documentary, you know what I'm saying, Tommy was doing, he's like, you know Tommy? I said, yeah, I know Tommy, because, you know, we had, during when Kurt was filming his documentary, that's who was doing everything. So he was like, yeah, he put out his documentary, he needed some music, so I just let him. I said, ah, damn, man, I should be getting a check for this shit. You know what I'm saying?
Real talk.
Yeah, but nonetheless, you know what I'm saying? You know, I salute that shit. You know what I'm saying? In time, things will sort itself out. You know what I'm saying? But I've been all over, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like this story could be kind of weird because we didn't really start from the beginning. It's just depending on who, you know what I'm saying? But Mellow Man Ace, if you wanted to know that one real quick. So because I did the video, you know, that was 4th of July. I forgot what year. I think it was 20. No, it might have been a little earlier than that. Because I think it was no, it was during the pandemic. That was for sure. Yeah, so it was during the pandemic anyway. So I did, you know, I have my own podcast, Check the Rhyme Radio, you know what I'm saying? Subscribe to the channel on YouTube. So I did the very first interview of Mr. Schick. Mr. Schick is the first Latino to rap in Spanish, you know what I'm saying, on wax. You know what I'm saying? And not just like create his own dub plate, because, you know, I used to call it a dub plate back in the day, right?
Back and forth, yeah.
Taking it back, right? So he was actually signed to he was actually signed to Sugar Hill Records. So this is a real legend of hip hop. So yeah, you dig. So with that being said, because Mr. Schick is part of the influence of Mellow Man Ace. So through Mr. Schick, I was able to get Mellow Man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but I got through Mr. Schick through my brothers Big Earl and Thurston Howell III. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? Low life. And
I did Thurston Howell III at the Blind Pig in Ann Arbor, Michigan in 2001 or 2002.
Fucking rock your soul. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? My brother gets busy. You know what I'm saying? I love him.
Wreck low.
You know what I mean? That's my, you know, Thurston's is the one of the realest. You know what I mean? And you always gonna be honest. I ain't gonna lie. You know what I mean? If you don't want honesty, then don't then stay away from him, because he's gonna give it to you honest. And you know, at the end of the day, you can't do nothing but salute that. You know? So yeah.
And I think in these times we need more honesty, because there's a lot of fakery going on. Like
yeah. So and to stay on that honest path, you know what I'm saying? So I'm able to get to you know, through Mellow Man, through Mr. Schick. And through his interview, you know what I'm saying, I was able to, you know, on the sides, like, yo, my bro, you know what I'm saying, I do music, you know what I'm saying, how much is the feature? You know what I'm saying? So he was just like, oh, I didn't know you do music. I said, yeah, I do music. And I was, you know, giving my credentials too, you know what I'm saying? So he was like, oh, okay. He's like, yeah, I'll tell you what, I'll do it for whoop-de-woo. I was like, all right, bet. So gotta make sure all that was arranged, you know what I'm saying? And he taught me a lesson too. He had taught me, he taught me that, because at that time, I don't know, for some reason, I just did not know that you could do this shit. But he taught me that, so you get paid for the feature. And he goes, if you want, you don't have to, but not for nothing, you should. You could get paid for the video feature. So I'm over here like, yo, I did not know that. So I had to pay him that too. Shout out to Mello. But you know what? It didn't matter because doing good business, you know what I'm saying, needs to always be, first and foremost. Respect the fee, negotiate if possible, if there's wiggle room. But at the end of the day, respect that. You know what I'm saying? So many artists want shit for free. It's just ridiculous. It's like we was getting charged. You know what I'm saying? Maybe the amount wasn't the same. Back then, someone might charge you like 20, 50, maybe $100. You know what I'm saying? Depending on who the DJ was and what project. But I've been on multiple, projects with like one DJ who was just consistent. You know what I'm saying? And I paid him, and we worked for years. You know what I'm saying? Until obviously it was, it wasn't really a thing anymore. But at the end of the day, you know, some might say like, oh well, what did it do for you? Well, I know what it didn't do for me. You know what I'm saying? It didn't not get me promoted. You know what I'm saying? It did not get me in the mindset of getting the muscle memory of doing good business. You know what I'm saying? It didn't not get me another contact. You know what I'm saying? Like it's all for the love of networking. You know what I'm saying? For the love of self promotion, for the love of this. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't ever care. You know what I'm saying? I'll tell them shit. If you think that's where the worth is, you know what I'm saying, of what I got out for me, then you're dumb. Ask all the people that you can't get to that I know and I can call right now. Tell me where that came from. Came from no talent. I've been had them shits, you know what I'm saying, before the podcast. So what we talking about? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Word.
You know what I mean? And I done been around some of the I ain't been around everybody, but I done been around some, you know what I'm saying? That's you know what I'm saying? I got me some stories. So with Mellow Man, everything was good, and the rest been history, and we formed we're cool. That's the homie, you know what I'm saying? So that's what's
Which is a dope track, and I might add.
Say again?
I said that's a dope track. Love the video. It was good hearing Mellow Man Ace.
Yo, let me tell you, I appreciate that. So the video was shot by, you know who Guap City is?
I heard you, man.
So Guap City is he pretty much, I want to say he just shoots pretty much every damn Snoop video, you know what I'm saying? I mean, he did the latest one with Daz. I think he did the latest one with Bone Thugs. So he's part of the whole Death Row. You know what I'm saying? Like he gotta be. Guap was popping, baby. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, I asked Mel. I said, "Yo, bro, like I don't know anybody in LA." I was green, bro. I was green like my, what I'm saying, like my Celtics. Shout out to the Celtics. We about to take it this year. Stop playing again. So anyway, Melo's like, "Yo, I got a guy. No doubt. Don't worry about it. Don't even trip. What you want?" So all right, cool. Give me Guap's number or whatever, exchange number. We talk a little bit, this, that, third. What you looking for? What's the budget? You know what I'm saying? He was keeping it real, funky though. Not like just cold, like, yo, what's up, homie? And I ain't gonna lie, that's one thing I love about LA dudes. Like they, you know what I'm saying? It don't gotta be just cold. Something a lot of the vibe is so dope out there. But yeah, we negotiated and the rest was history. We wasn't gonna do like 100 scenes, you know what I'm saying? I was like, yo, 2 locations. We can be like across the street. We could do whatever. I mean, I told him like whatever you want to do. I don't even know if I gave him that much ideas, but yeah. And then we met downtown LA, right by where the Capitol record label was, Capitol Records. That's where the original Capitol Records was, and I didn't even know it was there. Like I was like, oh shit! That was my first time in LA. I ain't never been to LA. I was like, oh shit! My mind is going crazy. I went with Hub City Queen, Rich and Ruthless artist. Shout out to Queen. What up, sis? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And I had just met her too. So she was like, yo, you gonna do a video, Mellow Mayonnaise? I gotta come through. I know him, fam. I know that. I said, hey, come through. And she's official, she's certified. Compton, OG. So we went out there, met Guap in the location, and then before you know it, Mello pulled up, you know what I'm saying? And then we just had a vibe. yeah, we had a vibe. Like it was dope. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't like he just came, shot the video, and then dipped out. You know what I mean? Like he came. You know what I'm saying? We shot the video, we kicked it for a little bit. Like you know what I mean? I called home. They got to say hi. Like you know what I'm saying? Cause they was fans too. Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah. So it was dope. Yeah, it was dope.
That's what I was gonna say. Is like when you say that there's a lot of that pay to play, and then there's also developing relationships that a lot of people don't see. You know, like
Yeah,
from the outside.
sometimes that shit's all wrapped up together. Sometimes you know you do. There is a pay to play type shit, right? But when you do good business, you know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, man, when you know, shout out to Michigan because I love Michigan. It's one of the greatest states in the whole nation because you guys the vibe, there's a vibe there too, man. The weed scene is outstanding. Anywho, but what I'm saying is like, you know,
on the billboards, I was surprised when I seen all that. The billboard, like person.
Yo, Detroit runs. You already know, man. Shit. Damn, where the fuck was I going with this shit? Damn it, I hate when I do that.
Pay to play. It's kind of
Pay to play. There's good.
Right. Pay to play. So yeah, so like I said, yeah, sometimes, so that shit's all can be wrapped up all together as well. You know what I'm saying? Because you can develop a relationship. I got another angles. I got all type of angles. But you can get a relationship with somebody and they can put you on for the sake of, which is the package everybody thinks they're worthy of. Or you can, I know where I was going with this. So or you can pay, do good business, build a good rapport, and who knows, in the future they may say, hey bro, yeah, I got this joint, you know, that I can, you know, I can hear you on. And you're gonna be like, in your mind, like, oh my God, here we go. This motherfucker trying to just take more money. How much? How much for what? How much you want me to pay to be on it? Nah, homie.
People don't know that.
Yeah, you do good business, man. I want to, you know what I'm saying? I want to do this for you. Shit.
When you got people coming to you and actually it's like, you know, out of love, but then they also realize that you're not gonna, you know, like they would do it for free. But the thing is, like, you would still give them some money in their pocket, just and back and forth. You know, like
I mean, artists need to understand, not to cut you off, my brother. Artists need to understand, what position are you in? Now, what position is the person that you're turning to, that you're expecting to do shit for free? Right. What position are they in?
Right.
That part. That part.
And you don't even value, like, you value them enough to know that you need to go there. You don't value them enough to you know what I'm saying, to motivate them to want to help you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you stuck at a job, you hate that shit. If your boss came and said, yo, bro, I'm gonna give you $100 more a day, I bet you like the hell out of that damn job. You know what I'm saying? Why? Because you're being compensated. Hello? You know what I'm saying? For the most part, people should motivate and boogie when you're getting your price. You know what I'm saying? Or you're getting damn near. You know what I'm saying?
You want me to walk down the street and get you some cheesecake?
Yeah. So who do you think benefits in the whole process of, from the person, so the person that records it to the person that, you know, this person's trying to feature? Like, who do you think benefits in that process?
The producer.
I was about to say the same thing. Yeah, the producer.
You got the producer that's going to get the money on the beat, that on the production, right? Mm-hmm. And then you also got the motherfucker that's going to record the shit.
Right. The engineer.
Right, the engineer, right? Boom, you're gonna do that. You know, the platform that your ass is now, that we all stuck to have to pay for it so that we could put our music on that shit, right? You know, and then, you know, et cetera, right? Graphics and all that shit for your, you know, all that shit. So so I say all that to say is there's a line of shit that most artists know they got to do. Some of the shit they could cut out. For sure. You know, some of them learn how to record. Some of them get good as hell doing graphic work. You know what I'm saying? They can do their own cover art, whatever the case would be. And that's fine. Cool. Now you trickle down to the ones that they don't care about that shit. They just want to go in there. They want to rip the real hip hop. They the hardest. They this whatever they want to do. And so they're spending money on things that the average person may try to learn. Right now they get to a certain point where they're like, "That's it." You know what I'm saying? I ain't spending no more. This motherfucker sounds tight. This shit is the shit. I love this shit. Boom, boom, boom. Right. At that point, that artist feels that from here on out, I shouldn't have to spend another motherfucking dime. I should start collecting. You know what I'm saying? And they don't realize that, bro, you just made it out of the driveway, right? Like all this shit you just did. Yeah, like you was always in the driveway still. You ain't even you know what I'm saying? So come on, man. Stop. Yeah, stop. Man, nigga, this shit could be for life. If it is for life for you, maybe you'll stop with it, bro. It's like this corresponds with, you know what I'm saying, not for the faint of heart. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Or this, you know what I'm saying? With the weak will die behind this shit, like dead ass. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're not gonna survive and there's times where you might give the shit up and come right back to it. You know what I'm saying? Fine, cool, whatever the case may be. But the point is, it's a journey. So if you feel like that's all, then that's fine too. I ain't gonna lie, like that process, and if they call it, bro, you're at least you got to there. So then at this point, work the record yourself, and you know what I'm saying? Create your own platform. That's what I did, because I was like, you know what, I'm gonna just create my own platform. But here's the also thing though. It ain't cool if you create a platform and you want to shove your shit, your music down the list, the viewers and the listeners' throat and their ears and all that shit. That shit ain't cool. Even if you fuck fire. You know what I mean? Like, it could have been, let's say Papoose never would have got on by, with K Slay, rest in peace, K Slay, right? And he's like, yo, I'm gonna just start my own fucking Papoose podcast. And now, mind you, this is Papoose. Nobody fucking know Papoose. Not the Papoose we know now. I'm just saying, like, if you know what I'm saying? And now he got his own shit, Papoose TV, some shit, right? And the whole fucking shit, he talking shit, he's rapping, or like 20 fucking, 1,000 fucking verses the whole time, listening to 160 of his fucking songs, and that's it, bro. Would you today say I'm a Papoose fan? You'd be like, that guy was annoying. What the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Like, you can only take for so much.
Self-glory.
Single Papoose out. Please go, Pat. Don't come for me. I don't know you. Like, you're amazing. I ain't gonna lie. I just, for whatever reason, I just, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, but yeah. So the point is, I was like, I'm not gonna do that. What I'll do is I'll debut something that's new, just so people know, like, yo, here's the new joint that just dropped, this, then the third, one time, bow, boom. You know what I'm saying? That's it. Keep it cool. Every so often, every so often, you know what I'm saying? Like every other month, maybe I might put it in the rotation when I was, with the music and shit. And that's it.
Exactly.
So but at the end of the day, it's still a good, promotional tool. You just gotta know how to use it without oversaturating it. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Because like there's a lot of people we don't have to like their music, like that somebody likes it, but we could like them as a podcaster.
Yeah. Yo, and these artists better wake up, because the whole line of expenses that I was just running down, that shit growing. And is growing and becoming part of the necessity. It's not like, oh, there's more shit, I'll skip it. Nah, bro. Listen, man. Yo, artists, real talk. Yo, you gonna pay for these promotions, yo. Don't DM me. Listen, I love what you're doing. Cool. Respect what I'm doing too. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't ask you for, yo, dog, jump on this track. If you got a price, I respect it. If you're gonna do it for free, then that's on you, right? If you're going to do it for free, that's on you. I'm not doing it for free, so that ain't on me. You know what I'm saying? And you don't have to. You can still do the free and see what it's doing for you, or you can at least You know what I'm saying? Pay the cost and promote your shit. We here.
Right.
We creating content. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Or,
Well, I gotta ask you this because I know you got Off
ask
the
me
Hooks
anything.
podcast. You know what I'm saying? But how far back do you and Cuban go? Because I've heard you talking about him being a barber and all that
Yeah.
shit. I mean, how
Yeah.
far back do y'all go?
Oh man. So Cuban and I go back. Most likely. Let me see. It's got to be. I mean, I go back further than Kurt. You know what I'm saying? So that could be a 30-year. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's probably yeah. I'm gonna say it's more, probably like 32 years. I've known him 32 years now, but it hasn't been 32 years. He's been in my life. You know what I'm saying? You know, there was some years in between that. You know what I'm saying? But nonetheless, you know, it's I first met him. I think I was about 16, 17 years old around that time, and but it was, it wasn't like, we just clicked. It just, he was always like the kind of like the big homie. You know what I'm saying? If I'm 16, he's like 18 at the time. You know what I'm saying? If you think about that. You know what I mean? So when you were 16, an 18-year-old, what? You're like, yo, this nigga, he's old already. This nigga, he could do anything. Wow. You know what I mean? Like that's what it was. But really my connection with Cuban was through Pun, because my best friend was Pun's cousin. So I grew up in Jersey. So me and my best friend, shout out to Jay Strokes, we grew up in Jersey. You know what I'm saying? And in high school he was like, yo, I got a cousin, he be rapping with Fat Joe. And I was like, you lying. And yo, I mean, in high school, yo, I was rapping. I was all that. I've been me since then. So I'm like, nah, word. He's like, yo, we got to go to the Bronx. Yo, I want to introduce you. I was like, I bet. So we found, got my bad.
No, go ahead.
Oh, okay. So one night he was like, yo, this is gonna be the perfect night. We're gonna swing through this, that, third. So we head out to the Bronx, and we go to the Castle Hill section. I was at the time, that's where Pun was living. And he comes outside. Now, mind you, he's not Pun. Like, you know what I mean? He's not like, oh, you know what I mean? He's just regular degular, but he's rapping. He's, you know what I'm saying? He's just trying to make a name. At that time, he had just met. They had just started doing shit with Fat Joe, but not like, I'm not sure if he had already started recording. I think he might have. I don't know if he recorded his verse for Fat Joe's "Jealous One's Envy."
Right.
That was when I met Pun during the time of "Jealous One's Envy" on Fat Joe. So anyway, he comes outside, and I'm like, holy shit, this nigga's big as hell. Like, what the hell? Yeah. I told my boy, because my boy was like, he was like, yo, jump in the back seat. You know what I'm saying? He was like, yo, sit behind me. And my boy Jay, he's not that tall, so he's like, yo, just sit behind me. I was like, yo, what the fuck? That's you know what I'm saying? We ain't doing that. He's like, nah, trust me, bro. So I'm like, all right, so Pun get in the car. Like, I was like, no way, he's not fitting in here. And mind you, he was smaller then, but he was still big. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't as big as when he passed away. You know what I'm saying? God bless the dead. You know what I'm saying? But he was still a big dude. And
did the car lower down?
Yeah, yo, we in a Hyundai, XL.
Yeah.
You heard, we in a Hyundai XL hatchback. You know what I'm saying? Like that
that's
shit,
what I'm saying. So the car did lower down though. It's like no.
Bro, I said, I was like, bro, this car dies this weekend. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, this ain't gonna make it. But anyway, so not too long after, like, meeting Pun, I believe Cuban ended up meeting us, I believe, in West Farms, if I'm correct. So we went to the spot. It was called the Playhouse, and I had no business being in this place. It was a little strip joint. I'm like, yo, I know I ain't allowed to get in here in the Bronx. And they got right in. And yeah, that was the start of me being around, like just like oh shit, and hearing pun for the first time, and I was like, yo, this is crazy, and then that same night I met Fat Joe. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, yo, this shit. I was like, yo, this shit is regular out here. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, man, it's not. I don't see it like that in Jersey. I ain't. You know what I'm saying? I ain't see Queen Latifah, and then you know what I'm saying. See Poor Righteous Teachers, and then you know what I'm saying. See Naughty by Nature. Like I ain't. It happened for me. So I'm a
like
yo,
YZ.
YZ. You know what's funny? Here's a yo. I'm telling you, like the things that are connected. Like I went to school with YZ's brother. You know what I'm
Oh shit.
saying? Yeah, his name is Russell. Boo. You know what I'm saying? They used to call him Boo. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to you, Russell.
Last name Hill, then? Last name Hill?
Yeah, absolutely. Hill.
Right,
Yeah, Russell.
yeah, Anthony Hill, you know, yeah.
Yo, you know everybody want to call. I'll be having the Cuban link problem. People want to call when they know I'm doing something. Knock my damn. Knock my damn.
Come on and shit. He knows he can pop on.
We're about to get it. There we go.
You should remind him, Gutta, like hit him up.
I already shot him live and he threw a heart on it, so I told him
just remind him.
I shot him a link to the Discord.
Yeah, so that's how I met Cuban, man. But you want to know something? When I met Pun, he wasn't Big Pun. You know what I'm saying? He was Big Dog Punisher. You know what I'm saying? Or Big Moon Dog.
So even his older name.
Yeah, and Cuban was Lyrical Assassin at that time. Yeah. And Triple Six was Joker Jam at that time.
Yeah.
So as time developed, because it seemed like every weekend we were screaming to go over there. You know what I'm saying? Me and my boy, like every weekend we was just darting to the Bronx and spending more and more time. Where eventually one night we went to which was Cuban's neighborhood, and it was called the Halls of Hell. You know what I'm saying? And in the Halls of Hell, they used to have like ciphers and shit like that. So Pun, Cuban, and Sace used to have like these between them three. They used to do like 2-bar exchanges. You know what I'm saying? And Sace would just like beat on the wall, you know, beat on the door or whatever, and you know he say some shit, and then literally like 2 bars, and then Pun would come. You know what I'm saying? And start saying some shit. But the thing was, it was like continuing on the cadence and the rhyme pattern that Say started or whatever. Like, you know what I'm saying? Or off the same word. You know what I'm saying? Pun will do what he did, but it's on 2 bars. And then Cuban would, you know, and they just off the dome. And I was like, yo, this is the illest shit I had. And I never saw that shit in my life. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, where I'm from, like, you know, you could, you know, you got MCs and shit, but you didn't have it like that. That was like that. I remember that day. I was like, yo, I'm gonna start like really focusing on rapping better. You know what I'm saying? Like I was like, this shit right here. You know, over time, you know, you didn't have to go lyrical miracle the whole time. You know what I'm saying? Now you can, you know what I'm saying? But at that time, you know, after hearing that shit, I was like, yo, everything has got to be a lyrical miracle type shit. You know what I'm saying? Because these motherfuckers and Latino too. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you're in a culture that is first created by black, but you know what, but you know, like if they create like, you know, black the foundational black Americans, they created the vessel, right? We was the first, you know what I'm saying, passengers on the vessel, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, it for me, you know, growing up, you know, I knew that Latinos were in hip hop, but you know, on the forefront of being an MC, not so much, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, and I didn't have a problem. I don't have a problem with that. If you're nice, you're nice. I don't care where you're from. I just want to hear bars, about hearing shit, not about what you look like. You know what I'm saying? But the point is, when I started to see people like that look like me, I was like, oh shit. First time I ever seen Fat Joe on FloJo, I was like, yo, what the fuck? I was, you know what I'm saying? The first time I met Pun and I heard him spit, I was like, this motherfucker just changed the game. You know what I'm saying? Like his whole like his shit like he loved Coogee rap, you know what I'm saying? So it was like hearing like kind of like another Coogee rap, you know what I'm saying? But
Like
the difference,
Latino Fuji rap.
yeah, oh yeah, that's
Okay,
that's like major
cut it out.
and and but at the same time not be like a straight up clone of Coogee rap. You know what I'm saying? Like, which is what hip hop's supposed to be. Like, yeah, I can draw inspiration from you, right? But I gotta understand that I can't just take your whole formula and be you now, carbon copy. Like that's corny. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So anyway, with that being said, with pun, you know what I'm saying? Seeing them all three do their thing, it just sparked this thing in me, and I was just like, yo. Now mind you, I was already doing music, so it wasn't like I'm gonna lie and say like after I saw them I started rapping. Like, nah, I have been rapping. My first inspiration, aside from me already starting to be inspired from loving hip hop, you know what I'm saying, and doing music, starting to do music, the first raps be corny as shit. Like they be meaning shit. Sometimes they mean shit, or sometimes they just mad, like vulgar, you know what I'm saying? Whatever first funny shit, but it should be trash. But yeah, it'd be trash. But I started doing some other verses where I started to like my shit, and then I started to do, because I used to DJ too in high school, and I used to like make a mixtape or whatever, and I would like open up with me putting like spit 16 on the shit. You know what I mean? And I remember at the time, my girlfriend in high school, I used to like let she be the only one that could hear my shits. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't even like a tape, like an album cassette, whatever. It was literally like just a mixtape, like music and shit. But I would just open it up, you know what I'm saying? And so we went to a little house party, right? And I'm in the back, you know what I'm saying? Like it's in a house, it's literally like a house party, like you know what I'm saying, living room, everybody doing their shit, in the back, room, all type of motherfucking shit happening going on. In one of the rooms, like we literally just chilling, and at that particular moment, we playing like, now it's a different time. We playing like Sonic the Hedgehog, right? And everything, we hear everything going on, but we just like like it's just the fellas talking shit, like you know what I'm saying? But we just playing Sonic, talking shit, and then all of a sudden I hear the music in the living room stop. So I remember that part and be like, oh, what the hell? And then all of a sudden, boom, they start putting music on. I'm like, but it's to a beat. I already know the beat because I would do my verses over like an instrumental. Like I'm jacking for beats. I'm in high school, motherfucker. I don't got no budget. You know what I'm saying? But
What was on Jackie Beats back then? Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? So I'm hearing the beat and shit while I'm playing Sonic and talking to the fellas, and all of a sudden I start to hear my verse on that shit, and I was like, holy shit! Wait a minute. Now I'm in high school. I ain't exposed. Nobody know I'm doing music or this, that, third. And all of a sudden I'm hearing my shit. I'm like, yo, this motherfucker, she fucking yo. And then this one dude came upstairs and he was, came to the back of the house and he's like, yo, bro, this is you. And I'm like, man, yeah. And he's like, yo, bro, I do music, this, that, and the third, boom, boom, boom. And he was the neighborhood, dude, and his name was Gervin Trejos. So local dude, Gervin Trejos. And he actually did some touring with YZ. But yeah, he did music too, but he just never came out, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to my brother Gerv though. But I'm gonna tell you right now, he's 100% the reason why, you know what I'm saying? Hold up. The reason why I do music, because he was the first form of inspiration. That's where these phones, man. There you go. And after that, yo, it was like off to the races and shit. Word up.
That's what's up.
You know what I mean?
Well,
Yeah,
I
so
gotta
he
ask
was
you,
the
like,
first.
so Anthony Hill's brother, like, did he ever rap or anything like that that you went to school with? That's why I asked.
Russell Boo, yeah, Boo. I mean, I don't know, I don't know Anthony Hill. I know Russ though. I mean, me and Russ ain't like, that's not like
No,
my
but
boy,
that's
but
why
I
I'm
know
curious.
of him. I've been
Brother
around
rap.
him a few
Yeah.
and growing up. You know what I'm saying? But Russell could, I ain't gonna lie, Boo could at that. Yeah, I don't know what he's doing now, this, that, third, but I remember that back then, like he's an older dude though. Like, you know what I'm saying? He's you know what I'm saying? Like Gervin's my older, you know what I'm saying? Older head, you know what I'm saying? I think like a year or two above me or some shit like that. So, but they were, as far as like in my area in Jersey, and you know, what I'm saying, 'cause I grew up in a town. It's called Heights Town. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's in between Trenton and New Brunswick. You know what I'm saying? Like if you know the area a little bit. So in my little Heights town, you know what I'm saying, circle if you will, of MCs and shit. YZ's brother Boo, like he was definitely one of the most elite for sure. Yeah. I do. Like he was my homie, but we were cool, you know what I'm saying? And shout out to Russ, wherever you at, bro. Real talk. I thought he was gonna make it. Like, I
That's
ain't
why
gonna
it was like personally for me, because it's like, like when it runs in the family like that, some people don't always know that story, and it was like, yeah,
bro, let me tell you, I used to be like, excuse me. I used to be in ciphers with him, and I'd be like, man, this dude's incredible. Seriously, and it wasn't like he wasn't. See, MCs are so incredible. This is the dopest shit about hip hop. It don't have to be just like a twister, type of rapper. It don't got to be like just a certain type of rapper. It just got to be like it's just based on how you drop your shit. You know what I'm saying? Like literally, like it is what gets people. Like you know what I'm saying? You could just have the way you rock your movements. You know what I'm saying? Could you know what I'm saying? They could relate to it. Whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? This dude, in my opinion, like I was like, yo, this dude could blow up and be like you know what I'm saying? Like he should be touring with Redman. I'm talking about that time. I'm like, he should be with Redman. You know what I'm saying? I never told him that shit because I ain't gonna tell him. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Yeah. I don't know.
So who's
I don't know where he at.
your top influences in hip hop?
Oh,
I mean, I know
yeah.
I'm punting them.
We go with hip hop. We usually go 5 in an honorable mention. But yeah.
Oh man. So indirectly, right? Yeah, you get to have two different type of lists. You know what I'm saying? Alternate universe lists. So indirectly, you have Big Daddy Kane. You've got Slick Rick. You've got Run DMC. You know what I'm saying? You got the Fat Boys. You know what I'm saying? KRS-One. You know, I mean, Pete Rock, CL Smooth. You know what I'm saying? Like this, just for the people that are watching, the picture that I'm painting is you getting it? Like the 80s and 90s, they all fathered me. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have the one that I just chased. You know what I'm saying? I enjoyed what I got from everybody. You know what I'm saying? Not everything though. There was sometimes, I mean, like I'll be the first to tell you, I'm not a fan of I Need Love. You know what I'm saying? And I'm a huge LL fan. But I Need Love was just not for me.
I'm bad, yes. I'm bad. But yeah, I Need Love, okay. Nice.
Yeah, it's not for me. I'm just saying.
Hey, yeah, that's for the ladies. That's why I looked at it.
Yeah. Don't take away that it wasn't like the biggest damn song in hip hop history, but you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying for me, I was like, yeah.
He's like, I'm bad, I'm bumping. Yeah, but I'm not bumping.
Right. However, LL is part of that influence. My bad.
Yeah. I'm Bad was the first song I actually memorized word for word. I was young.
Yeah.
I was probably 10 years old, 11 years old. And just hearing them, just saying motherfucker one time, it just was like, yeah.
Oh, I ain't mother who could do that yet. I'm like, damn.
Yeah. I mean, I grew up in that type of house, you know what I'm saying? Because my mom was playing, first of all, my music reflects how I was raised to a degree. I don't do no country music, but nonetheless. So what I'm trying to say is, I'm not in a box. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got MCs out there that you know what you're gonna get from them, and it's gonna be fire shit, no doubt. I'm not taking nothing away. And then I do whatever I want to do. You know what I'm saying? Like if I get a track and it's not like a boom bap shit, but I'm like, damn, this shit is dope. It's making me think of something different. You know what I'm saying? It's challenging my mind. So I'm like, you know what? I'll do that. You know what I'm saying? And if it's melodic and I can write something that I do, because I do all my hooks. I don't have a singer. I do all my shit. You know what I'm saying? So because I don't have any go-to to be like, yo, bro, I need you to do something, you know what I'm saying? I just kind of learn how to kind of do it on my own. You know what I'm saying? And it be sounding dope. You know what I mean? So I'll be like, all right. But I mean, it's not like I'm not gonna have like a Latino Sonidos, bumping in the hood or nothing like that. At least I don't think. But they'll do like a Let Them Know or movie or what I'm saying, soulful. They'll you know what I'm saying. You can get that bop. Ain't nobody gonna be like, "Fuck, are you listening to?" So what I'm saying is, as an artist, I do shit that's outside of maybe I won't be too much outside of my comfort zone, but it could be too much out of the comfort zone of a person that is a fan of mine, but they're not always a fan of everything that I do. You know what I'm saying? Be a fan of the soulfuls and don't want to hear none of the hecha para acás and what I'm saying. Don't want to hear that shit. But then you'll have other fans that say, yo, you need to do more of them shits. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I don't focus on that. I do music for myself. So whatever beat inspires me
What you
enough
want
to
to
get it
listen to
done.
almost, right? Like what you want to listen to personally.
Nah, what's funny though? Here's the crazy part. I'm the weirdest. So I did this song. It's called with Orlando legend. Phew, man, Granddaddy South. And um so we did that joint. It was as my joint. Mind you, all of these are all my songs, meaning these are my concepts. And then I reach out to whom I feel like, yo, this is gonna be dope. You know what I'm saying? So just so you know. I don't think I'm yet to really get too many people calling me, what I'm saying? Not yet, but y'all better get that shit before the bag grows, you know what I'm saying? So the point is, so we did that shit with South, and shout out to South because he didn't charge me nothing. Like, he's a legend. And he's like, yo, I fuck with you, bro. I'm bless you. And I said, man, good looking out. So we killed that shit. Kiki hears that shit and it's like, man, we need one. We need one. No, we need to get one of them shits, man. You know what I'm saying? And I said, yeah, I got you, bro. He's like, man, come on, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Find to be so we can get this shit cracking, my bro. And I was like, all right, all right, all right. I'll let you know if I, come across anything. So Echa para acá, I heard the beat for that. And I was like, all right, cool. I don't know. I put myself in a different mindset. And then I was like, all right, cool. Let me see. And this Kiki's always like pushing the damn Latino envelope with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you notice, like that's really like the only time I do shit like that is when I'm with him. You know what I'm saying? Because he's like, yo, come on, man, we gotta do that. Gotta rep for the Latinos. You need a hook in Spanish. And I'm like, bro, I'm not even that fluent in Spanish. He's like, man, you be killing it, man. I don't know. He's like, look, I don't know what to tell you, my brother. The first song I ever heard you do was Latino Sonidos. Shit, you did that. You know what I'm saying? So I did the hook, this, and third. So we recorded Echa para acá. And but here's the thing though, like, it's cool, but it's just one of them ones that I'll skip over that shit. But if I'm ever listening to my stuff, I'm like,
Oh, I got you. Yeah. No, I feel you on that.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell the fans right now, you better go check it out. If you fuck with it, cool. If not, I get it. Cause that shit ain't gonna stay up there forever. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be in my whole fucking catalog. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, I just go through those vibes, man. I can go through a vibe where I'm on some on some pun shit. I'm on some Griselda shit. I'm on some, it's all me though. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like I'm biting. I'm just saying the point is just because when an artist come out, they'll be like, who does he remind you of? So I'm just saying, like, it'll be things like that I'll get into focus with, and then there'll be some times where I hear a beat, man, where I ain't gonna lie, man, I'll be on some Buddy vibe. You know who Buddy is? West Coast artist on B. He be spitting too though. He's fire. Word up for y'all viewers, yo, look him up. I don't even know him. I'll promote him. Fuck it.
I've been hearing his name a lot though. That's the thing. Yeah, so I'm gonna look. Okay. I've been hearing about Buddy. He's been like,
Buddy, if you listening, bro, reach out to me, bro. GQ the Embassy, bro. You know what I'm saying? Give me a shot. Word up.
How about features like for anybody that's watching, like an up and coming MC and shit that's not really popping right now, but they're trying to come up, they want to get a verse from GQ the MC.
Yeah, man. Well, I'm gonna tell you, man. Respect the fee. You know what I'm saying? It's not gonna be crazy, I promise you. But they could always hit me up at GQ the Embassy at Gmail, GQdaembassy. They can hit me up on Instagram too. Like, I'm not like only hit me on the You know, I ain't on that level yet. They can hit me on IG, GQdaembassy. You know what I'm saying? So
What
just
if
let me.
they're a mumble rapper and they're nice with it though?
Yo, some of that shit got a dope melody, man. That fucking panda. You understood what the fuck he was saying?
Yeah,
You
it's a
know,
path
you know,
everything.
You ain't got to
the only
say it
song
mumble
that was
rap.
the only song that was worse than that to understand was fucking what was that? Was that name? Timmy Turner or some shit. The other song that he did, you know, that shit.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, that shit. That sounded like he was on coke the whole song. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I think it was more coke, dog. I think it was more.
He was jawing the whole shit. His whole shit was always. You know, that was crazy. I don't know. Allegedly, yo. Shout out. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
But he thought the whole shit like, whoa, hold on. You should come back for another session. Like,
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, but yeah, nah, if it was listen, man, I just want to hit a record first. If I really rock with it, cool. You know what I'm saying? Then I'll be like, all right, cool. But if you come and that shit is, you know what I mean? I'll be like, damn, because not all money's good money, you know what I'm saying? And that's your brand. You know what I'm saying? And that shit is gonna be trash. You know what I'm saying? The only that at that point you're gonna hope that they never put that shit out. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, I hope that shit just gets deleted. You know what I'm saying? Like they can never recover that shit. You know what I mean? Like,
I can
so why?
understand that. Like, you know,
Yeah.
like,
So why would you
not,
put yourself
like,
in that?
not all money is good money. It's like,
Yeah.
like not
But
everybody can just, oh shit, you got a verse with so and so, and then they sound like trash or something
Yeah,
like
if
that.
you
It's like,
whack, that feature shit don't even work. Cause I know
bro,
rappers like just here in Detroit, for example, T Grizzly, who does major numbers here, like all over the world, and he did
yeah, I heard of him.
he did a feature with somebody. The dude he did the feature with was whack as hell. This is before he like really blew up though. But he was like,
Yeah.
but I mean, brother King X, I think he was the one who put me up on it and shit. They have like
yeah, I think it is.
couple hundred views. You know what I'm saying? There's somebody that gets a couple 100 million views and shit. You got a feature from.
Yo, bro, you know what I'm saying? Yo, and let me tell you, bro. Sidebar. I don't know why I'm so compelled to say this shit, but I just gotta say it.
You cool with us,
Mm.
man.
Wait, you're in who's in Arizona?
That's Blatonio.
All right, cool. And everybody else is in Detroit?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I bet.
Southwest and the west
So
side of the building.
let me start off with Arizona, man.
Yeah.
What a beautiful fucking state. You know what I'm saying? Beautiful people. Got some dope ass hip hop, you know what I'm saying? That's out there. You know, shout out to the whole AZ, real talk. Like I haven't spent a lot of time out there, but it was the best actually seeing like shit that I never thought was real, like cactuses every fucking where. I was like, yo, I never knew this shit. But it was just dope. You know what I'm saying? I always thought that shit was like, you know, whatever. I'm from the East Coast, you know what I'm saying? So for me, but it was dope. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Arizona, real talk, the movement, you know, all the MCs, all that shit. You know what I mean? And now to get to Detroit, you know what I'm saying? I've been running through Michigan for a few years, right? And I've had the honor of being on the Grand Rapids side, which is fire, and also on the Detroit side, which is also fire. You know what I'm saying? I have two different sides, let me tell you, but not really too different either, because it doesn't mean that on the Detroit side it's just terrible. And no, Detroit is gritty. If you don't know that shit, then you don't go there. But it's a hard nose. Michigan itself is a hard nose. You know, good people, great food, even though y'all niggas copied the shit out of Coney Island, but whatever. We love y'all, you know what I'm saying? But hey, y'all got the most conies I ever seen in my ever life. I was like, everybody named mom got a coney.
Two brothers from New York came out here and branded it in Detroit.
Yo, but let me tell you, yeah, but yo, listen, there's Brandon and then there's feeding it after midnight and getting it wet. You know what I'm saying? Like that shit is different. Y'all got way too many conies.
You come from
yeah.
The Coney
Oh man,
yeah, but you know what I'm saying, I'm sorry, I'm speaking in a place of jealousy.
You know what I'm saying? It's part of Detroit culture.
Yo, man, that's what I'm saying. There it is. the culture. It all ties in to why. And I mean this wholeheartedly, man. I could move to Michigan and be just fine. I've been there for so many years. I've been there more than I was home here in Florida. I could live anywhere in Michigan. You know what I'm saying? And be just fine. Because first of all, it's like every 3 cars that passes you in the street smells like weed. So it's fucking smells amazing. You know, y'all, this is how you know that that's how you know that I be there, because you only gonna be from Michigan to know that it only take maybe 3. It sometimes it can be 2 depending on the area, but normally it's anywhere 3 to 5 cars. That shit smelling dank as hell. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got, you hear me say, listen, Colorado, California, I'm telling you right now, y'all better show Michigan love. These niggas got dispensaries next to dispensaries. Like, the shit's ridiculous. Like, it is, and it's dope. I love the dispensaries out there. You know what I'm saying?
We number 2 after Kelly.
Yo, let me tell you, man.
That's what Benzino
A
said.
great deal. And they got so many dispensaries out there. Like, yo, you should be venturing off so you can get new profiles done and get those better deals. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I've never seen so many billboard signs like that.
Yeah, man. Shout out to the Mancino. Shout out to the Mancino pizzas spots. And, you know what I mean? The jet pizzas and shit. Like, yo, man, listen, man. And yo, I ain't gonna lie, y'all got just as many White Castles as New York.
Yeah. White Castle's the spot too when you coming out the club late at night. Drunk.
Yeah, heard. Nah, but the point is, man, shout out to both places, man.
It was a Midwestern company, though.
Yeah, yo. I mean, and y'all, but you know, see, here it is though. Somebody from where I'm from, like, you know, where you're from, sometimes you don't venture out. You don't have the opportunity, whatever the case may be, right? Cool. But then you go to other places and you're like, oh, shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, they got this too. And they got spots that we don't even have. You know what I mean? And that's why I was bugging. I was like, yo, how many Conies is this? I got a homie that was already living in Detroit. I had to call him up.
When I was
like, yo, what the hell?
I was in it was Queens, and I was looking for like a Coney Island. But I finally found a diner and shit. You know what I'm saying? I went and hit that bitch and shit when I was looking for some food. But I could.
Yeah. You know what's crazy? I don't know why it's not like that in New York. It don't make any sense. Like, you got Coney Island, Brooklyn, which is the original Coney Island. Right. And after that, it was like, yo, nothing really else. You know what I mean? Like, the only thing you're gonna find other than that, like anything that's connected to a Coney, is like you might find a spot that sells like Nathan's hot dogs. You know what I'm saying? Right. That's about it. You know what I mean? But but I mean, it's terrible food, but it tastes amazing. You know what I'm saying? But be able to have it, and oh man, I was like really, I was kind of saucy, bro. I was feeling, you know, I was in my bag. But anyway, Michigan, that Michigan left turn though, that shit, come on, gotta redesign that shit.
Have you been to Southwest though? Have you been to Mexican Town?
Mexican Town, Michigan. Where in Michigan?
Yeah,
Detroit. I think I told you a little breakdown. It's like the melting pot of Detroit. It's got they call it Mexican Town. They actually call it that because they got a lot of an area that's all like straight up.
Yeah, got Mexicans. I mean, I wouldn't think it'd be Mexican Town with a lot of more Asians than any other spot. But I'm trying to think. Like, I've been to. I don't know if I could have been. I don't even, you know what I'm saying? For me, I'm just like,
everybody over there. Cuban,
that is like, you probably don't want to go there because it's like probably feels, and I wanted to see what it was like, and it was like being in there.
Arabs, we got Dearborn right next door, which is the most populated Arab city in America, like second in the world.
Bro.
You know what I'm saying?
So, let me tell you, So I didn't even realize that. You know what I'm saying? There, I'm like, it'd be like dealerships and this, that, and third. And there's Arab, and so I was like, yo, these are the Puerto Ricans of Michigan. Now think about it, right? Think about let's think about the fabric of the city, right? Think about the fabric of the city. When you were growing up, were there as many of the Arabs there in Detroit?
Yeah, they own every liquor store, gas station.
Right. So I'm saying. So you don't have a day one of I remember when they first started flooding the city, right? You just been around them. Right, cool. And this is where you're able to have friends that are, you know what I'm saying, from their community. They can have you from your community, you know what I'm saying? And eventually, then eventually what ends up happening is, say again, my bad.
The Arabs actually started moving in after the riots in 67. And it's like they was buying properties like pennies on the dollar.
Yeah. Still that going on.
And when Young gave them the keys to the city.
Right. So now check this out. So I'm sure at that time, you know what I'm saying, your family members might be like, yeah, I remember when they started moving in, yo, we started clashing or whatever the case may be, you know what I'm saying? And now this is the 60s, right? You know, the 70s, 80s, 90s. Yo, and when you was growing up in Detroit, did you have any friends that were Arabs? Like, yo, that's my homie, like for real?
Yeah, a lot. We had like street gangs. There was actually a street gang in Southwest Detroit called the Camel Boys, and they rocked with like the other gangs. Like they would click up with that set, like whatever, like you know what I'm saying, crew they was with. They would click up with the other sets in Southwest. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, and I had some homies that was a lot of homies that was Arabs and shit when I was in.
Like I said, yo, the Puerto Ricans of Detroit, Michigan. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, dead ass, man. Yeah, so, but it's cool though. I was like, yo, this is dope.
You know, I got a lot of Arab friends by me being Muslim.
Right.
Ah, got you, of course, and salute that too. You know what I'm saying? For sure. But not the point is that Detroit is such a beautiful city. Michigan as a whole is just to me, it's just drop dead gorgeous. It's great. Like I said, great people. I haven't ran into anybody that was just, you know, a bigot. I'm not saying that you know, it's, you know, there's nothing out there, but for the most part, you know, they've always been real open, real friendly, you know what I'm saying? And in Detroit been the same thing, you know what I'm saying? Some real ones I've met out there. So I just fell in love with the state.
As long as you go
as a whole, and the
show
cannabis
respect,
movement.
you know what I'm saying? Most cities, I think, are like that. Like we had Dazzy D from the Lynch Mob out here, and he was like, "LA gets a bad rap, saying it's the most dangerous city for rappers and shit." But it's like if you don't come here on any rah shit, then you're good and shit. You know that checking in shit.
So let me.
It's not for.
Let's unpack that. Let's unpack that real quick. Who said that? Who sent that?
That was Dazzy D from the Lynch Mob.
Dazzy D.
Yo, shout out, man. From, you know what I'm saying? Shout out, big, you know what I'm saying? So in theory, right? In theory, like if you don't start, none won't be none, right? That's always been the phrase, right?
Won't be none.
So here's my question. What did PNB Rock do?
Yeah, true.
What did he do?
I don't know. Yeah, he posted.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Instagram. Getting some food.
Was he taunting anybody? No, right?
That was some
He's just there. In the air.
That happens everywhere though.
And not only was he just there, he was with his family. And not only was he with his family, he wasn't even disrespecting the area.
I think there's cold-hearted people everywhere like that. Like the motherfucker who did that shit to my cousin, you know what I'm saying? That was like that shit, dog.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, real talk. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm saying. Like, so at the end of the day, yeah, you know, that's a true statement, right? But you know, also you still need to understand your environment. I didn't know, you know what I'm saying? They had to put me on. I was like the Nas with the, you know, you heard the Nas and the Snoop story?
Yeah.
They said the first time you met Nas and shit.
Keep lying, keep changing.
Nah, he said, yeah, Snoop said Nas came out in all red, you know, because, you know, in New York, you know what I'm saying, we was rocking what we rock. You know, man, it could be all red, it could be all blue, it could be all orange, it could be whatever. But, you know, Nas come out there rocking all red and shit, like, yo, Snoop, whatever. And Snoop was like, yo, cuz, you know what I'm saying? Like, you cannot rock that shit here. You know, so before I went to LA, I was asking a homie that I know that's out there, yo, what colors can I wear? What can I not? And you know what I'm saying? And he was letting me know about the baseball cap, depending on the team. I didn't even know that. He fucked me up. I was like, what? I was like, come on, man. Like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Like, now I can't rock my squad out there. Like, you tripping. Let me tell you something, man. I went to Watts. I was on Kiki's podcast, you know what I'm saying? High at the Towers. and I had on all Celtics. I'm a huge Celtics fan. Huge.
Oh, shit.
And I'm talking about when they were white. So, you know what I'm saying? Don't come with that bullshit. That's how long, you know what I mean? And somebody in the park saw me with that shit. I'm in Watts, California. And they were like, you got a lot of nerve wearing that shit here, buddy. And I was like, yo, Celtics all day since they were white. I told him just like that. So they don't think like I can jump. You can't, because sometimes they think that, oh, you've been a Celtics fan since Pierce and Garnett. No, motherfucker. I've been a Celtics fan since Bird. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm not talking about like, oh, I heard about the history. Motherfucker, I watched the games. You know what I'm saying? While they were alive. You know what I'm saying? All that shit.
I had a similar situation like that when I was out there in Cali, because I got family out there, and I had on red, and they was like, what's that you claim, cuz? And they look, and all they seen was seeing the D hat, and seeing Detroit. Oh, my bad. Oh, my bad, bro. You from the D. You know what I'm saying? And it was like squashed in and there, because once he seen the D, he knew that I wasn't representing what he thought I was representing.
Yeah, no doubt, because I'm a Mets fan, right? But yeah, but I know Crips, they rock the Yankees. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I was like, man, thank God I'm not a Yankee fan. You know what I'm saying? I'll be out there like, yeah. But some of the homies still tell me like, yo, you need to chill with the Mets shit, because some of these motherfuckers, they don't care. They'll just be like, NY, I don't give a shit. Anything with baseball, who knows? You know, I just like, I don't know, nigga. So and then I can't really rock no damn Celtics. You know what I'm saying? I'm in LA. I'm running around with Boston shit. One day was enough. I got through it. You know what I'm saying? And then I'm a Giants fan. So, you know.
Oh yeah.
At the end of the day, the only thing that I wear in LA is maybe a pun shirt, you know what I'm saying, and some polo, you know what I'm saying. That's pretty much it. Because I'm like, bro, I got all type of colors on. It's polo, my boy. Like, you know what I'm saying. It's gonna be red on it. It's gonna be blue. It's gonna be yellow. It's gonna be a green. Like, I don't need 4 gangs coming at me because the colors on my shit is Ralph Lauren, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So, yeah. Real talk, man. I know that Detroit be having a gangs issue too, though. But
actually, are you familiar with the whole thing about like how you wear your hat too? Because that was something that was like,
that's true.
Right.
No, I heard of that, but I'm not.
We didn't have that. The way you wear your hat.
Where's that at?
In Arizona, we don't. No, but I'm saying.
Well, you know, out in the Midwest, if you bang your hat to the left, you affiliate with your peoples. And if you bang it to the right, you know, you GD, you with the GD nation.
Oh hell no, man! I ain't gonna lie. Mine always to the left, you know what I'm saying? But I ain't in no gang, man. Like real talk.
Right.
But that's just the thing. Like
kind of hats though. Like if you got on the Cincinnati red hat to the left, or a Philly hat, you know what I'm saying, hat to the left. Anything with the colors red, black, or gold, there's considered affiliation with peoples.
Man, let me tell you, bro.
See, that was something I always need to, hit up on. Like that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like when I was out there, man, we vibed so well. And I mean, we vibed so well. Even in the studio, everybody was just like, yo, who is this guy? Like who sent him? Like, you know what I mean? Like, yo, we've got a guy that can work, you know what I'm saying? He writes fast. He does, you know what I'm saying? Like, wow, thank you, geez. You know what I'm saying? They were like thanking God, and and vice versa. But during that time, they were like, yo, you should move out here.
What MCs were you working with here in Michigan?
I ain't working with anybody yet in Michigan, man. I'm trying to tap in. Yeah, let me tell you something. Michigan, I'm gonna get back to my point, but Michigan, man, listen, man, you motherfuckers are beasts, and this is another reason why I love Michigan so much. Michigan, you got, first of all, the greatest of all time is Eminem in my book, you know what I'm saying? But Detroit and I know Michigan has a scene in itself, but Detroit has spearheaded the MC movement in Michigan. They are the state capital when it comes to that. But that takes nothing away from any of the surrounding areas that got some real spitters, because they have no choice but to be outstanding. You know why? Because Detroit has set the bar so high. Like when you think of Detroit, think of try like it. You have to really try to think of a bullshit MC from Detroit. Think about that. You have to be from Detroit to know the Detroit scene to be like, nah, there was this one dude, but did he ever take off? No. Then scratch him out of the equation conversation. Think about any Detroit that's out there that everybody should, whoever loves hip hop, should know of. Who's trash? Like, you guys can't even put out trash rappers, bro. Like, you understand what I'm saying? Like,
with Royce the 5'9" and Kid Vicious on the track.
Royce right there. Yeah, that's like a like these definitely
higher.
And then Eshawn with his recent resurgence, man. Yeah, he dropped Closed Casket Reimagine, and it's like a newer fan base. Like this is the shit. I'm like, Closed Casket. I got the original version of that came out in '94 when I was 14.
Well, I'm telling you. Wow. Detroit cannot put out a whack rapper. I've never heard.
There's like a,
like you guys weed your own. You guys weed them out on your own. They out there, but they ain't making it to the top. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, weeding them out. Y'all did a great job. Yeah, man. I'm telling you, bro. So and I'm not saying that. I don't have to say that. This is something that I have literally felt for years. Like, I'm like, bro, these dudes are crazy. I'm saying, like crazy.
There's a mindset. When you say there's a mindset, that's why I think that I've clicked with my, like my.
Who the dude from D12?
Which one, Mr. Ford?
Are you talking about Proof?
Nah, the biggest, who the biggest one? The big dude.
Oh, yeah, that's kind artist, Mr. Ford.
Bizarre.
Bizarre.
Oh, Bizarre. Yeah, I'm thinking big.
Yeah.
Not big.
Yeah.
I was thinking
big.
Yeah,
big dude. Yeah, pause. But I'm saying, like, Bizarre for me.
Shout out Bizarre.
Yeah. Bizarre for me. Like when I first heard D12, right? I was like, all of them was dope, and I was like, damn, this dude is different, dope, right? And I've heard his solo stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this dude now just turned into a straight retarded. Like, what the like talk about leveling up on the bars and shit. Like, bruh, this dude killing it. I'm just like, again, you gotta tip your hat to areas that have been doing shit consistently for years, right? Like for instance, like, Griselda came into the game and it was like a breath of fresh air, right? Detroit's been doing Griselda shit for years.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why, think about it. This is the reason why it meshed so good. You know what I'm saying? Eminem, Griselda, the connection, signing them. I mean, come on. I'm sure Eminem heard Griselda and was like, these guys should be from Detroit.
Being from Jersey, I'm sure you're familiar with you're familiar with the Outsiders. Yeah. The Outsiders, you familiar with them?
No, actually, I'm not.
They're from New Jersey. Bizarre actually was down with them back in the days. This is like mid '90s, and then
he was actually part of the Outsiders. Him, Eminem, Digger.
It's actually Fat Joe told a story saying he had a chance to sign Eminem, but we did some fact checking on all that, and what it was Eminem was a Terror Squad fan. So when he was on the East Coast, he used to hit all the shows and shit in New York, and he was a backpack rapper. He had the backpack full of CDs, and he'd be passing them out, and he would pass them out. And he slipped one to Joe and them and shit, but supposedly Joe he didn't listen to it. You know what I'm saying? Tossed it.
Right. Yeah, that story's true. I wasn't there, but I was. During that time, I was on pun. You know what I'm saying? So
I was gonna say, also being around Cuban, I'm sure you might have even heard that.
Yeah, but there was a time during that time as well where you motherfuckers are getting busy. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like I'm on the tour bus with them just riding around. Like I have real bills. You know what I'm saying? So like if I'm not making no bread, I appreciate the invite, but nah. You know what I'm saying? But during that time, but during that time, knowing part of Eminem's journey, you know what I'm saying? That story's been told many times. You know what I'm saying? And but it's not, I can't blame Joe either. You know what I'm saying? Like at the time he's working with Pun. He already got his Eminem.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So to Joe, you probably sound like you trying to be like Pun. You know what I'm saying? And what's the point? You know what I mean? Now, granted, that's just the way it worked out. Then, in hindsight, they're great friends. I'm sure. You know what I'm saying? Because M's always praising them, and vice versa. And then Eminem does the verse on "Lean Back," and then fucking recatapults the trajectory of that monster single. Because I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Killed it.
Yeah.
Him and Remy.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't care what anybody says. Like, I get the argument, like, oh, but they're not bumping M in the hood. Well, maybe you're not in the hood where they bumping it. You know what I'm saying? And that's cool.
I was just on the west side of Detroit yesterday over off Finkel and shit, and fucking over by Lasher, and fucking I heard somebody pulling up bumping some old Eminem. It was some old school Eminem, but they was bumping some old school Eminem. I was like,
yeah. Nah, that old Eminem. Ooh, that's just
Infinite.
Yeah, that's just
I actually went to the
different.
studio when he went to the studio, smoked a blunt with him when he was recording that. And shout out to DJ Los, that's our homie. His dad is Carl Bush Smalls, who worked with Dr. Dre at Death Row Records. He actually came up with this infamous clap.
Even deeper than that, like been on like since like George Clinton and stuff.
So it had a little bit of ties with the West Coast with Dr. Dre. You know what I'm saying? Eminem did have some contacts over there because DJ Los was producing Infinite, and then you had his pops who knew Dre personally and worked side by side with him at Death Row. So he had hookups out there on the West Coast.
I mean, listen, a lot of this shit is luck too. Like I'm not even gonna lie. This shit is luck, fate, whatever, however you want to call it. You know what I'm saying? But the point is, it isn't all that either, because you gotta have drive and you gotta network. So you don't know what your fate's gonna be. You know what I'm saying? Like you can network and link today with somebody, and then 6 years later maybe something can arise from that. You know what I'm saying? But always try to build the relationship. It's like network isn't just like, okay, I got your number, you got my number, and then maybe 8 years they're gonna call me. What are they gonna know you for? You know what I'm saying? Like you got to try to create some type of a relationship. You know what I mean? Check in, if you will.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's what we've been trying to do on our side, man. That's why we're honored to have you on here, man. Cause
we try
y'all been doing it.
Like
we hope you having a good time with us.
There's enough of that.
Great.
You know what I'm saying?
My bad. What was that?
We try not to stir the pot, talk too much about the drama in hip hop, because there's enough of that. We want to shine a bright light on hip hop. You know what I'm saying? So
that's the same.
Adams can be Adams and Vlad's can be Vlad's. So we keep that over there. There's enough of that. There's enough wannabe Vlad's and Adams.
I feel you. It's funny. Like in the beginning, I think what it is like even if for the sake of conversation, right? You bring up Vlad, right? So I think when we start early in podcasting, we're treading lightly, right? You know what I'm saying? We're trying to get as much guests, get the content. We don't want to stir them up or ask them questions that we know might trigger some shit like that, and that's cool. That's usually how it is for us in the beginning. I'm still a lot the same way. My co-host, not so much, but nonetheless, But at the same time, I think it has to do with where what your status is, right? What your show status is. When I say this, like, so hood smokers, right? You guys got a good amount, got a good amount of subscribers, right? Trying to build up the content, this, that, and third, cool, no problem, right? So if you feel like you get to a platinum, like a status that you're like, man, this our platform is we got 150,000 subscribers or 200,000 subscribers, right? But we got to drive the numbers up. We got to drive the viewing numbers up, right? you know what? Fuck that, man. We're already a big enough platform. Let's start asking these fucking questions because that's what they really want to hear, right? But in the beginning, you're like, yo, I don't want to piss nobody off. You know what I'm saying? We might have to bring them back on or whatever the fuck the case may be. It's live because that's you don't want to get embarrassed live. You know what I'm saying? Because it's funny.
Yeah.
We watch the shit, right? We all do, right? I know you.
Cancel you quick. Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm saying like you'll see like like they got this one video that's like like the all the time or 10 times it went bad for Adam 22 or some shit, right? And then you just gotta watch this shit because you're just gonna be entertained by seeing this motherfucker get kind of told off by whatever, right? Shout out to Adam 22, but I'm not trying to put you on blast, but still, nonetheless, so but you don't want to end up like that. You don't want to have footage of yourself like that. You know what I'm saying? So you end up kind of like treading. Y'all know you hold your ground, but at the same time you tread accordingly to just get a certain type of vibe and certain kind of content. And I applaud you for that because I do a lot of the same. That's why I know it. They say it takes one to know one. How you think I'm able to break it down? Because I identify. You know what I'm saying? Right.
Yeah.
So even with off the books, you know what I'm saying? With Cuban.
Yeah.
When I I had reached out to my brother and was like, yo, man, you ever think about having your own podcast? And he's like, nah, I didn't thought about that. That'd be dope though, but I don't me, I don't know that shit, this, that, that. I said, man, I do all that shit. And he's like, oh, word, you do that shit, right? And I said, yeah, man. And he said, I said, how about if I get a name, do the logo, get everything set up. I got all the equipment. You know what I'm saying? And he's like, yeah, fuck it. I bet. That'd be dope. You know what I'm saying? I was like, all right, cool. Now, his style is different to mine. I'm kind of like you guys. You know what I'm saying? But because let me tell you something. Pun told me this. Pun said it's not what you say, it's how you say it. You know what I'm saying? And that goes with anything. You know what I'm saying? So even if you're going to interview somebody, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. You know what I'm saying? You just got to know how to get that question off. And sometimes you got to know when the segue is for that question. You know what I'm saying? And another thing, sometimes it's good to before the interview, you're going to have like a regular conversation. You know what I'm saying? Say, hey, listen, I want this. Yeah, say, you can say, hey, listen, I want this to be a real good conversation. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to press you, but maybe some emotion might come out. It's cool because I really want to ask you about blah blah blah. You know what I'm saying? I know you've spoken about it, this and third, but I kind of want to see if maybe we can just re-unpack some things or whatever the case. Just have a dialogue. You know what I'm saying? For my viewers. You know what I'm saying? But it's not gonna be the whole thing. Like we're gonna talk about regular stuff, and you know what I'm saying? That way they know that they're not just gonna get pressed the whole time. And see what they say. They may say, all right, you know what, that's cool. Or they may say, look, bro, I really don't want to talk about that. Cool. No worries. I got you. Just want to make sure we cover it before we put you on there on blast like that. You know what I mean? And you know what? When you do it, when you come back on that, like, no, it's cool. I just wanted to make sure I didn't want to, go live and just start, you know what I'm saying? Unpacking this shit and it's with something that you don't want to talk about. You're just covering your ass because they're just going to say, I appreciate that. Thank you. Cool. And that's it. And then you know what I'm saying? You do your thing.
Yeah,
and you can still build your rapport.
We've had several guests on where the emotions just come out and we don't ask the question. They talk on it on their own. We give them the platform and they speak on their own. Like with Cuban, the first time we had Cuban on, we was like, look, let's talk. He had some new music out. We was like, let's talk about the new music. We gonna play some joints, this and that. Hey, let's not get all because everybody's talking about the whole shit, you know what I'm saying, with Joe and all that. But towards the end, you know what I'm saying, it just came out. And it was like, so it came out. And then by the fourth time we had Cuban on, it was just all out, like, you know what I'm saying. But shout out Cuban Link, that's our brother and shit. So yeah.
Verbal assault. Shout out to Cuban, man. I love. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. They've been. I got to tell him when I first interviewed him on my platform, and that was actually the first time we spoke in, I don't know, it might have been about close to 20 years at that time. And it was just, it's just I just let them know, like, man, you guys have all been such a major inspiration in my life.
Mhm.
Um, you didn't create the spark as far as what made me start to do it, but you put the fuel in the tank, you know what I'm saying, for me to like take off and no matter what happens, just give it your all, try and work with what you got, which is all you can do, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of artists get so discouraged because they don't have the budget and all they do is see the videos and everybody's winning. You know what I'm saying? But they don't realize that, this is the end product. This isn't the beginning product. You know what I'm saying? The beginning product looks like you struggling. You know what I'm saying? So you just got to try to be creative. And man, how blessed of a time are we in, right? Where you can everything, you cannot not learn shit. You know what I'm saying? Like on Instagram, you got a motherfucker that's telling you can make lights with fucking toilet paper and shit like that. You know what I mean? Like there's so many, and then you see his results. So how the fuck can it not be yours? You could record on an app now, and it just shit. It sounds like shit to people from our era, but for this era, it sounds great. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, for our era, we're like, come on, bro. I'll never use this. But for the new era, they like,
Karaoke machines and shit. Karaoke machines.
yo,
Oh yeah.
let me tell you something. This is the only hit time in history for an artist, especially in hip hop, where you can fucking write your shit, record your shit, um, all on your fucking phone. And now you don't even have to write your shit. You use AI the shit. You know what I'm saying? And AI will literally have the whole fucking song, and you can literally download the shit, and you have ownership to it. Like it's just outstanding. The cheaters have won. You know what I'm saying?
What's
See,
your
this is
opinion
one.
on AI? Because we talk about that a lot. We had the DOC on here, and we was like,
Uh-huh.
DOC's the only one we give a pass for the AI. His pen game's still on point. He lost his voice and shit, so it was like, but
Facts.
what
One of
is
my
it?
one of mine's artists that inspired me too. That the formula, that fucking album was outstanding. That's a 5 mic album.
Who can do it better?
Facts.
Five mic. That's a
I was
5 mic
actually
album. And
listening
I'm an
back to
East
that.
Coast dude. I'm telling you right now, that shit was banging in my room.
I don't even care what generation. Yeah, this shit is like this. Yeah.
I still throw that shit on the formula and the grand finale.
Listen,
This shit, all that
DOC's
shit.
pen. You understand? I'm from the East, right? And we're you guys are Detroit, right? You know what I'm saying? My bad, my brother, I'm in Arizona. But I'm saying as far as Detroit and the East Coast, I'm telling you, man, Detroit and New York are fucking stepbrothers. They're fucking cousins. But the point is, they're in the same family. I don't give a crap. Literally. Like you know what I'm saying? Like no dead ass. Like if it's fun. Okay, so you got foundational Black Americans that created. You got Puerto Ricans and other Latinos that was right. You know what I'm saying? That we got right into the vessel. You know what I'm saying? Right after they made it and all that stuff. Cool, right, bro? Detroit started manufacturing the shit. You understand what I'm trying to tell you?
Plus,
Like,
Motown influenced a lot of hip hop. You can't
Yeah.
say that
there's
A
Motown.
lot
no
of
doubt.
yeah, the record
Yeah, there's
sampled
no
was
there's no doubt. I mean, yeah, I spoke with Kurt. I mean, Kurt's been in my life for quite some time. Listen, I'm a different Puerto Rican. You know what I'm saying? I was raised on all music. You know what I'm saying? All of it, black to Latino to white. My mom was playing Kenny Rogers like she wanted to be a groupie. You know what I'm saying? She Puerto Rican from Brooklyn, New York, listening to Kenny Rogers. I mean, come on, yo.
Oh yeah, that's
Lionel,
different.
listen, Lionel Richie. You know
Oh,
what
I
I'm
love.
saying? Willie
I,
Cologne. But I'm saying I was in 3 households in one. I got black friends, they ain't listening to salsa.
Right.
I got white friends, they ain't listening to salsa. In my household, I had everybody, you know what I'm saying? Everybody's shit. So for me, that's why I could get along with anybody. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm good. I respect everybody's shit. Even if I don't like it, like you could be like, yo, this is the dish. This is the cultural dish in my okay, cool. I don't eat that. That don't mean I'm gonna be like that. Your culture shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's a big respect for me. And then hip hop was the same thing. I never judged a book by its cover when it came to none of that stuff because I come from that type of spot. You know what I'm saying? I just know what I like. So at the end of the day, that's what I flock to. You know what I'm saying? And again, like I said, Detroit and New York are it's just different. You know what I'm saying? And then of course you start sprinkling everything else around, because that's not to take away anything. You know what I'm saying? Fire music is from everywhere. I mean, come on, man. Outkast, Southern Playalistics, like that set the bar to me in Southern music at that.
Rap a lot shit. They was doing their thing. Fucking.
Come on, you know what I'm saying? Talk about it. You know what I mean? Like
when you
even
even think about like old school stuff, like like the songs you won't mention, your mom playing like Kenny Rogers and stuff. There's that
man.
one song, of course.
Yo, man,
Know
you gotta
when
know
to
when to
rock
fold 'em,
away,
man. You know
know
what I'm
when to pun. You know
saying?
when to rock away, know when to pun.
Yo, I'm telling you, man, I grew up on all that. And then in my room, I'm playing Fat Boys, I'm playing Run DMC, I'm playing Kid and Play, I'm playing Salt and Pepper. Like so you know the time frame, you know what I mean? Friday nights I'm listening to Red Alert. Saturday I'm listening to Chuck Chill Out on the radio. You know, I'm recording. Remember these days? I'm recording the shows. I'm recording that shit. You know why?
Back
You know,
then.
yeah, you know why? Because Friday and Saturday, the only time I'm gonna hear hip hop. I need to make sure I got that shit for the week.
And sometimes you
what I'm
couldn't
saying?
find that song anywhere. Like, see,
Yo, let me tell you, man. We from the era where you had to move the antenna because sometimes the station didn't come in clear, and it wasn't a digital tuner either. You had to literally finesse that. I don't know what the name of that shit is, but that tuner, you had to be nice with it sometimes. The best stations were in between all the fuzz.
We all 40, so we know about that.
You heard? You gotta let them know, man. Listen, we come from the time when the digital tuner first came out, and we thought that was the shit. That was it. I'm never gonna have to worry about not getting the station. The 97.1.
I got the antenna.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so we from that, man. We from pause mixing. You know what I'm saying? We you know what I'm saying? We telling you, like, there's no this generation. Let me tell you something, man. I love this generation, right? But I don't know if this generation knows how much we love them, right? It's like you're still dealing with your rebelling son or daughter, and you're like, I don't know why you rebelling, motherfucker. I'm on your side. Like, you fighting me, I was you. We're the only, we're the first generation that has a better opportunity to relate to our kids than our parents could relate to us. Let that sink in. Right?
That's true.
So, think about it. You can still beef with your son or your daughter, like, yo, that because you gotta stand first so that they understand. But at the end of the day, you'll be like, yo, you'll even tell them too, like, yo, I've been you. You motherfucker think I was born dad. Like, no, motherfucker.
What you think has already been done. Yeah.
It's already been done. So I'm on your side, right? So anyway, when it comes to hip hop, I feel like the generation doesn't feel like loved by the older generation, and on top of that, they don't care. You know what I'm saying? I've seen, this is the first time in hip hop you got so many female MCs, and they all twerking.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, are you an MC or you a stripper? I need to understand. You know what I'm saying? Like, I need to understand. Like, I get it. You come from and hip hop is free and it expresses, and it's for expression and all that stuff, no doubt. But I remember when hip hop was more uplifting than it was revealing, because it was revealing in the sense of how it was descriptive. I remember when Queen Latifah was screaming ITY. You know what I'm saying?
Ladies first with more love.
Yeah, exactly. And now all of a sudden it's like, now all of a sudden it's like, it's cool to catch an STD. Like, when the fuck?
Prostitution,
You know what I'm saying? Like, this is weird, and this is not hip hop. You know what I'm saying? This is just, doesn't fall under the umbrella of what should be hip hop. It's just unfortunate it becomes today's hip hop. So I'm yeah. I want to see more. I want to see more females worry about their skills and their body. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like yo, like honestly, like you not even impressing nobody. Like I'm a grown man. You do that shit, I'm be like, girl, put something on, yo. It's like 62 degrees out here. You know, you know what I'm saying? Like I want to hear bars.
Why is the tightest lady MC got to swing the other way? You know, nothing against one that's keeping fit.
Yeah, there's a lot of things. Yeah, for sure, and that being one of them. But at the end of the day, I can at least be like, look, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't rock like that, but I'm cool to coexist. You know what I'm saying? I don't got no problem. I don't care if you rock like that. Cool. You can have your mannerisms. Yo, it's all good. I can hold a straight conversation with you. It's when you cross the boundary. The boundary of I don't rock like that. Don't make it seem like you could change every dude like me. You know what I'm saying? You may snatch a couple, but I promise you it's not me. So let's kill that. You know what I mean? You want to be respected? Stop making it about that. You know what I'm saying? Just coexist. Just coexist. You know what I'm saying? Like it's cool. I grew up with one, you know what I'm saying? And I knew the whole time. And then when he finally, you know what I'm saying, in later years, I'd say, yo, I'm proud of you. I knew. How'd you know? I didn't even know. Listen, motherfucker. We knew. Just I knew. We knew, motherfucker. But we love you. You know what I'm saying? So we wasn't gonna treat you. You know what I mean? Again, that is hip hop. Positivity. You know what I'm saying? Let me tell you something. I remember,
like you're bringing that back.
Yeah, like let's teach what we destroying, and I don't care if I sound old. You know what I'm saying? Because even in our era, say again.
What's that?
Oh, I thought somebody said something. Now I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Because
brotherkingx, were you saying something?
Nope. I ain't saying that.
Go ahead, brother.
So I'm saying, like, even though I know that hip hop is a young person's, as they say, a young person's, genre, which I completely disagree. It can't just be ran by young people. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it could be.
Okay, we got an echo. I'm just letting people know.
Yeah, I hear echo. That's what it is. Yeah, that's what it is. So
sorry, brother.
Nah, you good.
My apologies, brother.
Nah, you good. You good. So for like I'm saying, like for me, what I'm trying to say is like for me, I just want to see female MCs that are really out there spitting and don't have to be so revealing. Because me personally, like it just ain't doing nothing for me. And when you get older, you may realize that shit didn't have to be done. You know what I'm saying? Because you still want people to respect you, though, right? You know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day, you don't want somebody to be like, "Oh, they go that bitch with that do that song that she be half naked. Go, bitch, yo, do that shit. Hey, yo, girl, come on, do that shit like in the video, right?" And I'm not saying that now right to do that. If you do that, I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying,
I'm hearing an echo.
Yeah, some of you got I got my volume way down low, so
yeah, put the volume. Make sure your volume is low. But I'm just saying, like, you could still be beautiful, sexy. You just don't gotta be because you got little girls watching you. You know what I'm saying? And they the argument could be like, well, what about the stuff that's in hip hop, this, that, and third? No, I understand you still got a message to be said. All I'm saying is like, you want the image of hip hop to be all dudes, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, looking crazy.
And then of course, like the same goes for like us male rappers and stuff. We see a lot of feminization trying to come up into it.
Oh, man, yeah. Yeah, and I don't even know when that became a cool thing. Like that shit is just, I don't know, man. I don't know what's in those fucking
Prostitutes.
You know what I'm saying? Immunizations, you got motherfuckers fucked up after they get their first set of shots or something. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a crazy fucking time to try to wrap your head around shit. And what I'm talking to my daughter not too long about it. I said, all the crazy shit that you got to deal with now as a parent, right? What do you think it's gonna look like when your kids are parents? Like, how much more crazy you can it get, right? But you know it's gonna continue to, you know what I'm saying? So with hip hop, you know what I'm saying, there needs to be more diversity where, you know, in the streets, you know, you got your OGs, right? And they're in place to, you know, govern shit. They don't put their time. They've made it to this point. Now we're gonna make sure that we don't destroy this shit by being stupid. You know what I'm saying? And hip hop needs those same gatekeepers, some OGs to do the same shit. The problem is the ones that are here, you know, they don't have no power. You ain't gonna stop the trajectory of this person. Like, yo, either you're gonna get it right or we're gonna blackball you. Go ahead. I got my own fan base. We got the internet. I don't even need a record deal now. What are you doing? Right? So now, right, you know the saying, right? Too many chiefs, not enough Indians.
Yep.
That's hip hop. Because everybody now can be their own.
I heard the echo again. Sorry, y'all.
Yeah, now you good. But I'm just saying, now everybody can be their own chief. So who gonna govern that? A chief gonna govern another chief? I mean, right? Because what happens then? That becomes war, right? What do we see? What do we see in hip hop? First, the chiefs, they all cool, they chilling with each other, this, that, and the third, right? And then what ends up happening? Now this shit goes out. What the dumbest shit in the world? Right? That's hip hop.
Can you dig it?
You know, let me say something. I think there's a large portion of the traffic that flows into the attention of hip hop that's based on the drama that hip hop, rather than just the music. Think about this. When we were growing up, how many beefs did we grow up hearing about in hip hop, right? And how much of the beef were you able to get from it, like information?
Right.
So, you know, there was beefs here and there, right? You caught like, you know, oh, this incident, whatever, they at a show or something. Maybe you catch that story, but there's no backstory, really. There's no continue back and forth shit, really, right?
Right.
So
when this one, you're like, you know, in PM Dawn, you're like breaking the record on.
But I'm saying, but that had to be. I got to see you at your concert.
Yep.
Right. I gotta see you at the studio. Right.
Professor Dick beat the first off empty search. You know, like boom.
I gotta see you. I gotta see you around. Right. So now today. The content that's driven, right? The content that's driven is based on just the back and forth interaction that they continue to do. I could go live and my op will be like, "Oh, I want to join. Yeah, let's get him on. Yeah, bitch, nigga, what's up, motherfucker? Yeah. And mind you, the fucking views are going bananas.
Yeah.
The likes, the shares, right? And they see the numbers and they loving that shit too. Like, oh shit, yo, I'm lit. Think about KRS-One and PM Dawn, like you said, in the days of internet, right? Think about we didn't have that, so there had to have been some dialogue, right, for them to form some sort of a issue. We don't know, you know what I'm saying? We catch a backstory, maybe, whatever. There had to be some back and forth at some point, right? We don't get to see that today. Everybody's included. If I'm beefing with you, I'm like, oh, I gotta put this on my podcast so I can get the fucking views. I'm good. This and that. This is.
And you got worried about the other person's team. You know, like that's the thing. You know about.
This is part of the problem. So this generation has become desensitized without even knowing what they should be posting and what they need to chill out on. They don't have any clue. For the most part, they don't have any clue.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So now this is our hip hop, where we're shaking our heads on all the shit that they're doing, and that's all they see. Look at this motherfucker shaking his head to me. Fuck this motherfucker. He old as hell anyway. You know what? You can interview a new artist and say, oh my God, listen, man, you're amazing. You could be a female artist and say, yo, you remind me of, you know, fucking Moni Love or some shit. She might have a better, if she even knows who that is, she may be able to take it. You tell a dude this shit, no any new dudes, right? Yo, man, you remind me of Biggie. Yo, man, Nah, man, I'm me. What you mean? I know, but you know what I'm saying? You got that vibe. That's dope. Nah, man. Nah, he couldn't do what I did. Yeah.
Fuck him. I don't give a fuck about him. I don't even know who he is. I never even heard one of his songs, but listen to him though.
You like, bro, I'm giving you the biggest compliment you could take, and your ass is getting mad behind the shit. So like, yo, I was like, yo, do you consider yourself hip hop? And they're like, nah. I don't know what genre we would be, but now
like, hip hop though. Like, hip hop is like, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So we need more, and I'm looking. We need to see a generation of, not saying to bite them, but just just that vibe, like a Dave East and Nas, and you know what I'm saying. Like we need more Griseldas groups, you know what I'm saying, and we need that movement to be found because it's out there. I don't care, it's out there. I know that for a whole fact, but it needs to be televised.
That's facts.
You know what I'm saying? And I salute you guys because I know that, you know what I'm saying? You do, it don't matter who it is. It don't have to be the biggest legend or the, you know what I'm saying? You guys give a voice to the voiceless and those that can go anywhere else to get them. But you still show the same love, and I salute y'all for that. Real talk, you know what I'm saying? Because
back at you though, man.
Yeah, there's a lane for us. Listen, I knew when I was going to do the podcast with Cuban. First of all, you gotta know your lane. That's another thing as a co-host. Because somebody had the vision for the show. Maybe they started it, they brought you on board. Maybe all three, maybe all four. Whatever the story is, you still want to know your name. You want to know your strength, right? So when it came to that, I was like, I had my podcast where I'm either the star of it or I share in it, but kind of stand out. And then you have Off the Books, where I can only do a supporting role. You know what I'm saying? Because Cuban is Cuban. You know what I mean? But we have a great time, and it's cool. I don't have no problem being there. Now, I also don't have a problem asserting myself, you know what I'm saying, in the interview as well, when I know that there's only opportunity to ask these questions, and I'm not going to let Cuban get the whole fucking shit. You know what I'm saying? Because he may ask a question that I was thinking of. Like, okay, cool. But he's entitled to his own form of questioning. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. But sometimes I tell myself I gotta make sure that I ask the questions that are burning inside in me to ask, because those could be a question that someone is mind, and they're like, can somebody please ask this question? And then boom, the question's asked, or whatever it is that they were, wondering about the person we're interviewing. But it's again, it's just a great experience to be able to reconnect with the bro and also be in a different space. You know what I'm saying? We're a lot older now. We've never really had to sit down like that. Like he was always on like, yo, what up? Yeah, no, you know what I'm saying? 28 seconds, you know what I'm saying? Right. Yeah. So these are the first times in our both of our lives where we're like, and I think also with him, I mean, I really can't speak for him, but I know for me, there's a connection with Pun, you know what I'm saying, if you will. It's like, oh man, he comes from those days, he comes from that time, and you know what I'm saying? And it's like it's like a little soft spot where you have that reconnection, like, okay, it's cool. So it's been dope. So I love it. He's the star of the show, clearly. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody tuning in to watch me. Not yet, you know what I mean? But the point is I know my lane. But I know my lane. You know what I'm saying?
Make sure y'all go subscribe to Off the Books
podcast. And share things too on that, and that's what I mean. Like, we all know that, like,
yeah.
Because you had all the people hating, now they're listening finally to Cuban too. So I mean, that right there.
What's crazy? I think all of us that are aware of the story and the situation, we all know someone that also knows that and is tired of hearing of it, right?
Yeah.
And I say, listen, I'll be like, look, they'll ask me, like, yo, why does he keep this and this? I said, man, let me ask you a question. I'm like, if like, who's the closest person that you are to, right, in your life? That you just think about that person, right?
Mhm.
Something happens to them, and you know that they're getting screwed. You know, a lot, right? And as he should, he was there, and everyone is like, "Oh, I loved him too," right? Like, Pun passed away. Everyone's like, "I love Pun. I love Pun.
Mhm.
Pun, right? Pun." And they also be like, "Oh, but Joe is, that's my brother, and I love him," and that's cool too. It's like, I'm not saying that Joe is whatever, right? I'm not here to bash him, but I'm saying make a point. So, but you find out that your brother's getting robbed. Anybody that you're close to, they're getting robbed by somebody. You're gonna be like, "Yo, hold up, bro. Everybody loves this guy, and he's fucking robbing my brother." You know what I'm saying? His family. That's that third. So I personally just don't understand why certain people that were in that circle would turn against Cuban, even if they're tired of hearing it. What would be the purpose of you turning away from him? You know what I'm saying? Like, he's only speaking the truth, right?
Right.
And you got you know what I'm saying? So for me, I'm hearing the same shit too,
Yeah,
right?
that's
I'm
why I
thinking
had to. That's
yeah,
what you bring them in. Yeah.
yeah, like what, 20 years, I think, you know what I'm saying? I gotta talk to Cuban, but maybe like 20 years we didn't talk. I heard the stories all the time. And the illest shit, like, I would be like, damn, man, come on, man. Let's just get back to the music, bro. Just get back to the music. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I would be like, yo, my man is, he's furious, and he has every right to be. So at the end of the day, it's almost like, yeah, I do the music, but you want to know something? What spearheads me is making sure that Pun's estate is right. I
Amen.
do music because, yeah, I love to do music, and this is what my brother put me to do. But that's not my forefront. Until I know that all that shit is laid to rest, you know what I'm saying? Then maybe I can get to it. That's my assumption. So I always came into it just understanding, like, you know what? My man is upset. He's hurt. He's broken because of just Joe. He's upset at Joe, and he's hurt. Yeah. Think about it. You lose the closest person in your life aside from, your parents. This is you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Your brother.
And he dies in his mid-20s.
Yeah.
Or, you know what I'm saying? Close, you know what I'm saying? 20, I think it was 28 or something like that. At that age. He's in his 20s. Let that sink in to anyone that's listening to this.
Listen,
He
y'all.
died in his 20s. You know what I'm saying? And then after all that, Cuban's life changes. You lose your best friend. You know what I'm saying? You can't even be like, you know what, now I'm going to go even harder on this hip hop thing. I'm going to rep him. And, you know what I'm saying? I'm thinking now, him and Joe had a real relationship. I seen this with my own eyes. Like, you would have thought these dudes were best friends.
Right.
So, you know what I'm saying? So now, like I said, on the outside looking in, the way things were playing out, I'm listening to it on the radio like everybody else. It was all, it was playing out on the radio, interviews. It's breaking my heart differently as the fan. They're like, oh shit, hold up, let me make a sandwich. I could hear this.
I mean,
Let me hear it.
I think all of us on here can agree. It was like, okay, Cuban's next. Well, we all.
He was. There's
Yeah,
no
we all know.
sound
Without
of
a
it.
doubt. We can't doubt
It was
that. We all
on.
knew Cuban. Why not?
Yeah,
But why
it was on
not?
in the paperwork. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. So Cuban's issue is not like the average person's issue.
Right.
Not
You know what
like
I'm
the
saying?
average Joe, so to speak.
Say again.
Not like the average Joe, so to speak.
I
I'm
mean,
playing with
no
you.
pun intended, right? No pun intended, right? Yeah.
No
But
pun intended. There we go.
yeah. So yeah, it sounds, I guess, tiring, right, to a fan or anybody in the industry that's not connected to the reason why he's motivated to doing it.
Right.
The average fan don't have that. The average fan can listen. They love Pun. That was great, but they didn't know Pun. They only love it's cool to love Pun to some
They
of
love the
them,
pun.
and
They
they
love the
only
process.
love the image of what they knew of Pun, but they didn't know Pun. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So there's a different connection that you will never be able to have.
Right.
And that's the type of stuff that drives Cuban. I cannot fault him. I just can't. And it's not because I'm afraid he gonna watch this and get mad. Nah, fuck that. If I call it away, I'm gonna call it away.
But Cuban is real. Yeah.
But I'm like, bro, like you can't listen. How many times have we heard the when you say, yo, you can't tell somebody how they're supposed to react to news, right? You can't. The motherfucker lost his best friend.
Yeah.
Period.
That's what they forget. Forget that.
He ain't never coming back. And I'm not talking about Pun. I'm talking about the Cuban that I knew before Pun died is never coming back.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
That's the reason
100%.
why everything fell apart, because Pun was ultimately the nucleus of Ace and Cuban. Now I say them only because that was them. They wasn't with everybody else with Terror Squad. That was their shit. You know what I'm saying? When I came into the picture, I didn't even know who. I knew of the sick one. You know what I'm saying? Because they would tell me stories. Like he was always shit. Yeah, it was dope shit. But I just didn't. He was not in that equation at that time. I don't know if he moved or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So there's a lot to unpack when it comes to Cuban. And at the end of the day, like all I could tell the fans is like, look, if you want him to do music, then listen to his music. And you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Because you're gonna see the numbers jump and he'll know. You know what I'm saying? He's got good views. I ain't gonna lie. And at the same time, just keep encouraging him. You don't gotta watch everything that he posts if you don't want to hear it. Trust me, he's not even on that shit for you. You know what I'm saying? Like that shit for you. Himself because he wants to. And y'all get to see it and he gets to feel some love. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And he deserves it. And I'm not saying it because he's my partner with the podcast. I'm saying it because it's real shit. He's a human fucking being, for Christ's sake. You know what I mean? What the fuck? What you want him to do? You want him to fucking go postal or go suicidal?
Yeah, I think that a lot of them want, and it's like, no, he's got a team solid behind him like us. Yeah.
So my idea for my concept behind the show was really. Say again? Oh, look, they cut the light on you.
The echo again. The echo going. Somebody got.
Oh, yeah. So the concept behind the podcast for me was just to get him to be have a space. You know what I'm saying? He gonna talk his shit. Cool, you got a space, and it's your fucking platform.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So fuck that. Anybody that's judging, who gives a fuck? We just want you to watch, run the numbers up. You know what I'm saying? Like fuck that. And I rock with him too. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Now, if you notice, if you're watching some of the content, not everything that he's talking about, I'm diving into it like it's my problem too. Right. You know what I'm saying? But I'm there. I'm an ear, no doubt. Oh yeah, that's wild. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm listening, so it's like I'm reacting to the shit too. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not here to bash anybody else. But if I'll call it out too. You know, for me as a fan, Fat Joe was a major part of my inspiration as well.
Yeah. I mean, hip hop, because we're not.
Yeah. Again, I love hip hop and black artists. Come on, man. Please, man. I would be the biggest liar to say I'm not influenced by black culture. You know what I'm saying? Come on, duh. You know what I'm saying? Because you know what I mean? Like, come on now. And you know what I'm saying? Like, if you know me, you realize it. Like, Cuban always get on me like, yo, your cheeks are pink. And shut the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? But at the end, you know what I'm saying? But at the end, you know what I'm saying? I love that's my brother. But anyone that knows me, like really, really, really knows me, yo, they gonna be like, yo, Fred was rocking with everybody, black, white. I had black girlfriends. You know what I'm saying? Like I had. You know what I'm saying? It was like, what? Come on, man. Listen, don't get it twisted. Before God said, yo, you don't need that shit on your head no more, my shit was straight Afro. Like, this is not a lie. You know what I'm saying? You can search old photos of myself. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. I got to a certain age, I was cornrows. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had straight Afro pick. Doop. Stuck right in there, no straight hair. If my shit got wet, listen, if my shit got wet, I look like Kurtis Blow in the 80s. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a fact. So I always knew at a young age that something was different with me. I always knew that because growing up in Heightstown, you know what I'm saying? Like it seemed like all the white boys got all the fly white girls, you know what I'm saying? And I wanted my hair to be like that. You know what I'm saying? I wanted my hair. They had the fucking shit, the skater shit. They would go like this because the hair was getting. You know what I mean? Yeah. It seemed like all the white girls, they couldn't get enough of that shit. And here go my shit. My shit just like froze shit. You know what I mean? And with nothing. I was like, this shit is whack. But you want to know something? I realized that growing up, it was funny too, because growing up, I'm like kid, like, second grade, third grade. I'm like looking at the white girl, like, oh man, she's so pretty. Look at Beth. She's so beautiful, right? Yo, dead ass. Yeah, nah, but dead ass, and it'd be, but it always, growing up, it would always be a black girl chasing me. If I'm chasing a white girl, black girl chasing me. You know what I'm saying? So growing up, most of my girlfriends were black, and that's on everything. I put that. Listen, niggas be capping. They do their shit, bro. Can't nobody expose me, bro. Anyone that's from Heightstown, my era, my class, they gonna be like, yo, Fred ain't lying. I was either dating a Spanish girl or a black girl. Period. That's it. Not because I don't rock with white girls. I had white girls later on after high school. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, I love white girls. It just didn't happen. Chemistry wise, like, you know what I'm saying? Like the way I talk, my mannerisms was always based on my influence on New York. You know what I'm saying? And it was really hip hop culture. And what is hip hop culture? It's the creation black and then fucking Latinos. So I fit where I'm supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? I'm not in the argument. I should not ever be in the argument of being a colonizer or being a guest. Not me. You know what I'm saying? Not me. Second generation. How? You spinning the records, but we had the crates in our hand. I'm not taking nothing away from you, but don't take anything away from me. I'm here. I'm apprentice. You know what I'm saying? And no CEO should ever shit on the apprentice. You know what I'm saying? Because you gonna inspire the apprentice to take you out. You see what I'm saying? And that's not what we're trying to do. Hip hop needs to be a united thing. It cannot just be a one thing. As soon as it's a one thing, it's a done thing. Okay? It has to evolve. It has to grow.
It's like, just because you're new to them doesn't mean you're new to this. You know what I mean?
Right. Exactly.
You've been doing.
Yes.
You're new to them, but they hating on immediately.
Right. So anyway, for those that really know me, they understand that. Now, Fred ain't like that. Yeah, I've been GQ for 100,000 years. You know what I'm saying? But I've been Fred a lot longer. You know what I'm saying? And I'm telling you right now, bro. I comedies, sitcoms, and I'm talking about as a kid. It wasn't like that's something I just got caught on to. It was like literally, I'm watching TV like everybody else growing up. I'd seen shows that I was like, that shit kind of corny. That ain't funny. And I seen other shows and I'm like, nah, that's funny. I could relate to that. And what I could relate to the most was all the black shows, the Good Times, the What's Happenings. You know what I'm saying? Like, them shits.
Humor that relates, like really relates to your life.
Friends as well. Absolutely. Friends as well. It was black and Latino. And I had white friends too, and they were cool as shit. But my white friends were a little different. My white friends liked hip hop. You know what I'm saying? So I had the hip hop white friends. Right. I had some of the white friends that were like into Guns N' Roses, because back then there wasn't a lot of hip hop was kind of on the struggle in the arguments. You know what I'm saying? It was still called crap music sometimes. You know what I mean? But nonetheless, you know what I mean? So yeah, and that's the beauty of my life, being able to meet all these legends. They've been different colors. You know what I'm saying? Same with Cuban. The same message that he's presenting is the same shit. We don't know this bullshit, because I'm not saying that there wasn't nothing going on. Like, yeah, you had Latino families that would be like, they didn't like black kids or whatever. But we playing with them. We like, hey, mommy, or dad, chill, relax. And third, they're not this and not that, right? And I had black friends that would be like, yo, chill, don't come inside because my mom's gonna be tripping. You know what I'm saying? Same shit. But you know what? It's based on is based on the problems that our parents already had. It's their problem, and it wasn't ours.
Yeah, and that's
if my
also like how we
yeah,
react. Like
yeah.
oh, okay, some people quick to react.
And I was blessed in my household. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have that. My parents wasn't on that. Yo, I don't want to hang with him because he's black. I was blessed because I know it was out there. It was out there in every family for whatever reason. But my family, they wasn't like that. So I was cool. I judged you by the merits of who you are as a person. I could give two craps what your skin tone is, because I have one too. Just so you know. You know what I'm saying? We all have a skin tone. So why am I worried about you because you're darker? I'm lighter. You know what I'm saying? So who's the fuck? I still have skin. It's a tone. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's
A piece of shit is a race. A piece of shit is a race. That's like, and they come in all shades.
I mean, the president's orange and shit. You know what I'm saying? So,
exactly.
Yeah, if you're a piece of shit, you're a piece of shit. It don't matter.
And hip hop is a race, and we have to keep. But as a family, as a hip hop family, we're gonna get into turmoils. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna have disagreements, and I know that there's been a lot of disagreements. I'm sure that, and I'm saying I'm sure because I can't say that I know for a fact if I'm not you, but I'm sure there's a lot of black brothers and sisters that are tired of the culture being stolen. You know what I'm saying? I just want you to know I don't represent anything that even remotely is about stealing a culture. Like to know me is to know I've been listening to hip hop my whole life, and in my house there was salsa. My dad was a big salsero, so that man was playing nothing but salsa. You know what I'm saying? But my mom, because my dad was from Puerto Rico, straight up, born and raised. But my mom, born and raised in Brooklyn, she had the New York culture in her. So she's listening to the salsa, and she's also listening to Motown. You know what I'm saying? So in my house, our Friday nights was salsa night because my dad was gonna drink his beer, he was gonna play his phone guy, he was gonna listen to all his salsa joints, maybe have a couple friends come in. They were gonna play some. These motherfuckers were like these. I ain't gonna lie, like my dad and some of his friends, they were like the homemade cover band for salsa music. You know what I'm saying? Like they just drink beer and play the instruments. Like they just playing on top of the shit that's already laid out for you, and they singing the shit drunk and happy and cool. That was my house on a Friday night. You know what I'm saying? During also during the weekend, like my mom cleaning, she's playing, man, she's playing early hip hop. I'm talking about like Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. She's playing she's playing songs like Rocking It. You know what I'm saying? She's playing.
Your mama sound like us, man. Make she rest.
Yeah, man, telling you, man. But also there'll be times she start getting her Kenny Rogers shit, and I could hear the music in the living room blasting. Because that's one thing my parents was about, putting that shit up. You know what I'm saying?
No way to rock away, no way in the pub.
You know what I mean? So the whole time while my parents are doing that, I'm growing up. My dad would be on the turntables, wasn't a DJ, just like the regular turntable setup, and playing the shit. I wanted to be that. So as a kid. And I don't even remember the age. That's how young I've been doing it. But as a kid, I had a 45. And that's not a gun. I'm talking about the record player. So as a kid, you know what I mean? I had the...
You used to have that little plastic thing in the middle.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. My parents, they bought me a Popeye record player. Played the 45s. They played the regular shit too. But you had to open the case wide as hell. So that, you know what I mean? So... Real talk, and I would blow the needle just like my dad did, and I'm like 4 years old. Let that sink in. You know what I'm saying? So my whole life, and it stepped up too. I had bigger record players, this, that, third, boom box. Then my dad had a mixer for years. I'm like, man, he don't know how to use this shit. I'm getting to an age now. I'm learning to DJ and shit. And then my dad one day surprised me and gave me the mixer. I had like 2 turntables. They were off brands. No brand was the same, but who gives a shit? I was loving it. I had a microphone. I started recording my own demos in my own room. You know what I'm saying? Started pause mixing. You know what the funny shit about pause mixing is? I'll ask certain people, where did you learn how to pause mix? And there's some that say, oh, my older brother taught me, or my cousin taught me, or my friend taught me. But the majority of them said, you know what's funny? I don't even know. And I say, and that's the special part. for those that know what pause mixing is, or for those that don't know, we had 2 cassette decks, and you couldn't have a digital one because that shit would have like this like slight delay when you hit the pause. You had to have the analog one, right? As soon as you push that bitch down, it would stop. So you play a beat on one cassette that only played, and the other side would record, and you would have it on pause, and you would start on the beat, and then you would literally stop it on the beat right before someone maybe talked or started to sing or whatever. You would rewind the original tape, play it from that spot again, hit the pause so you can continue where you left off, and then stop where you were about, and repeat that shit. So all you make beats in 2.5 minutes. That was like a 2-hour fucking thing.
You got now.
That's how we used to steal beats when we was little.
I remember I took the MC to the studio
loop
back in
them.
the days.
Like,
and
I'm sure you
then
do that
just
too.
took the first part.
Like, oh shit, I got it right here.
Especially a too short song. We couldn't wait for a too short song because you know the beat gonna go on forever.
A 4.5 minute beat doing a pause mix would take you 4 days.
Yeah.
Oh man, imagine. See,
I wish it would feel like forever. Yeah, man. And then, but I'm gonna tell you why it would take you longer too, because you're gonna get to a point where you're like, yo, I gotta hear what's it sounding like. Am I stopping right? Am I, you know what I'm saying? Because sometimes that shit wouldn't be perfect.
No.
You know what I'm saying? So it was, but I'm saying, but a lot of the people that they say pause mix. I remember the first time I heard the phrase, I used to pause mix. What was pause mix? And when they explained it the way I explained it, I said, holy shit, I was doing that.
Right.
And I thought I was a genius. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's just a common thing with humans, right? That a lot of, they say the bright minds think alike or whatever, right? It's the same shit. This is what it looks like. You know what I'm saying? Where we had a problem, right? And we were like, how the fuck do we do this shit? And all of us came up with the same thought without any of the same influences. Remarkable.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's the craziest shit. It's like when you see dogs, right? They all kind of have the same mannerisms and shit. It's like this is the type of shit where I'm like, man, it's a human DNA shit. And it's on that level. It's like, yo, we all figured out the same fucking way. It's like, I don't know, man. It's just little shit like that. And you gotta love this shit for that shit to even mean anything to you. You know what I mean? And it's still considered, and it consistently continues to evolve, because look at what we're doing, right? Some of us have done music, and a lot of us ain't make it, right? You know what I'm saying? We had a lot of higher hopes for us, right? We're like, fuck, man, how we got skipped over, right?
No, you know what it is? A lot of us did make it, but it's the way they measure the success.
True that.
Yeah, true.
Excellent point.
Go ahead, brother. Like what you say.
Continue to piggyback off of that, right? We are in a great space where now, if you're starting to feel that I'm useless in my life, feeling shit, you know what I mean? Yeah. This allows you to bring back relevance to yourself as well.
Yes.
Having a podcast and a platform has been a great way to tap into different aspects, angles, opinions of aside from the normal journalist, you know what I'm saying, in hip hop.
Yeah.
We get to challenge the norm, and we don't have to worry about being fired. You know what I'm saying?
No.
So we're part of the innovators, you know what I'm saying, which is a great thing. I know podcasting has been around for a while now, but trust me, I don't think we even hit the surface yet. You know what I'm saying?
I agree. I think there were too many journalists in the beginning, and now what it is like people realizing that they don't have to be a journalist. It's like,
well, competition is a good thing.
To the thing that shouldn't be here.
Yeah, competition is a good thing, because if what we're doing is automatically competing to the status quo, and now they got to create better content. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
At the end of the day, that's all. I mean, maybe the better content means more honest.
Oh,
The
yeah.
journal-
So having knowledge of like what they're podcasting about. You know, like hip hop. I think there's a lot of people in the podcasting thing that don't know hip hop. That's
that just want to get in, that are fans maybe
Yeah, and-
like that's the culture vulture part of it.
yeah. I mean, I can understand like if they love, they love and they want to whatever. I mean, it just depends on what. For me, it's always what's your content, right? So, is a journalist that reports on hip hop drama a culture vulture?
Yeah.
We live in a
Everybody,
world of
what's our
clicks and
vote on
views,
that?
you know what I'm saying?
My man says yes.
That's a,
Wait, what was
well, thinking of the world we live in today, you know what I'm saying? We live in a world of clicks and views, so I mean,
Right.
that's
Yeah, the world of
that's what they trying to do and shit.
Yeah, there's too many.
Yeah. So with that being said, a lot of the outlets back then that you would have thought were loyal to hip hop, right? Weren't. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying who because I don't know. I'm just saying, but you can't. Right. Because at the end of the day, you're thinking like, okay, well, they realize that this is some hot new shit, and this continue to grow. So I'm gonna be at the forefront because no one's covering the shit. You know what I'm saying? Same thing. It's just about. It's more. Sometimes it's more about what position you're trying to gain as a journalist, as opposed to what you're covering.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Amen.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So somebody could have been like, yo, this guy covered hip hop in the best way. And the guy's like, yeah, I never even fucking liked the music. But I knew this shit was popular and it was already saturated to be fucking covering rock and roll, or whatever at the time. So I knew that this was definitely going to get me in and I know how to record. It don't even if I don't like your shit, I know how to record you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you never know. Sometimes they say, yo, in the beginning, I didn't fucking like it and it grew on me. And you know what I'm saying? And it was the best decision. You know what I'm saying? But think about it. It's still, again, that is all what hip hop has been as far as a business. You think that the label owners really gave a fuck about hip hop or liked it? Probably not as much as, the hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But they understood that, holy shit, this is they're just putting out some numbers. I'm a numbers guy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, think about it. Like, do you guys, like if you don't fucking eat fucking squid pussy, right? Because it stinks or whatever, would you care though if it fucking can make you a millionaire? No.
No.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So everyone's thinking that you fucking love to eat squid pussy. And you're like, I fucking hate that shit.
Yeah.
I just love money more.
For doing it.
Say again?
Will you put on a dress for them?
I would never put on a fucking dress for none of this shit. Fuck that.
That's what I'm saying. It's like that's kind of what they're doing these days.
Yeah, yeah. And
that's an ultimate disrespect.
Yeah.
Anybody that put on the dress, that was already in them.
Yeah.
Gotta
whole
be.
other discussion.
Yeah, gotta be. I don't. Yeah, I don't knock. Listen, I don't knock anyone's.
Yeah. We're not going there.
Yeah, it's cool. I
At
get
least
it.
embrace the shit.
But when it's moving, they don't want to rock the dress anyway, though. That they didn't want to rock the dress.
Yeah, I just want motherfuckers to understand this. I support you, right? I support the LGBTQ plus community. Right? I do. I really do. That doesn't mean though, I want to see a motherfucker walk around me in a thong. You know what I'm saying? And I shouldn't have to. I salute you on that. I'll be like, oh, that's your shit. You wilding out, though. You should have warned me, my bro, because you know what I'm saying? I ain't rocking with it, but I ain't knocking it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's your shit. I ain't want to knock the shit. But my boy, you know what I'm saying? You know why? You know what I represent, bro. Don't come out here like that.
Don't bring that over here.
Man, yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, if we was in the game, bro, if you rocking blue and you know I'm a red, bro, what you doing? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's the same shit. You set tripping right now, my guy. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's all.
Yeah, that's a whole nother discussion.
Yo, I'm not lying.
Like, what was it? We had technical difficulties that one night. We had Craig D, beatmaker, like dope ass legend right there, Craig D. Yeah. It was like we were having technical difficulties, and it was kind of like it's different because everybody knew like the gay dude up the block,
Yeah.
and he wasn't trying to influence you in the way they're trying to do now.
Those
Like
are the best. Those are the best people, whether you're straight or you're gay. You know what I'm saying? Just be, yeah, yeah, yeah. Let me tell you something. My ex-wife, she had a few gay friends, right? Females, though. And dead ass, bro. Like I didn't have a problem. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have a problem with them.
I got a gay daughter.
It was always cool. Just don't think you're gonna change me. What happened with my brother?
That's the thing.
We actually did a show. I got a gay daughter. There's this rapper named Six. She actually kicks it with. She did a track with us and shit. And she
Nice.
came on stage with us when we performed, and she proposed to my daughter, my oldest daughter, and shit on stage.
Oh,
man.
okay.
Fuck, you know what I'm saying? We like fuck it.
Higher.
Like,
Yeah, let me tell you, I had a guest on Check the Rhyme Radio. Name was Andrew, and he was born a female, and going through the whole process of getting changed. You know what I'm saying? And that is great. I don't even have a word. Grueling. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? It's crazy. And I have a hip hop show. What was I doing putting him on the show, right? Because at the end of the day, hip hop is all about going against the grain. You know what I'm saying? Struggle, adversity, positivity, negativity. It covers everything. It covers everything. So you can't tell me that there's no transsexual, there's no lesbian, no gay, whatever all the letters mean. Please forgive me, y'all. You can't tell me that none of them don't love hip hop, right? So we still have a hip hop community that we need to take care of. And I wanted to bring him on because I wanted people to realize that issues that I present on the show don't have to just be music related. Community is hip hop. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So we did it. And I didn't care about any backlash. I didn't care about anything. At the end of the day, I got my own podcast. I pay the cost to be the boss.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You just have, all you got to do is, click to the next one. You know what I'm saying? So that's all it is. And that's what we do.
I commend you for that. It's me. Have I had me do some stuff like that? Oh man, yeah.
You just got to be able to stand on your square. If it's your belief, if it's your belief to do
that
it.
show
What happened?
Six proposed to my daughter. Remember that BKX? That show on the
I remember. Yeah, when performing Bad Souls.
Yeah. So you know what I'm saying? Love is beautiful. You know what I'm saying? I don't gotta always agree with everybody's lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? I really don't. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, that doesn't mean that you deserve backlash from me. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, you ain't coming on to me. Now you come on to me, I'm not here to say we have a problem as far as like I'm gonna fight you or whatever. I'm just let you know like, yo, listen, I don't rock like that. Yeah, I don't rock like that. You know what I'm saying? But I don't knock your shit. You know what I mean? Real talk. And we could yeah. Now if you just gonna not ignore the shit or whatever, this, that, and third, I'm about to, you know what I'm saying? I hope you ain't no fucking cock diesel ass motherfucker. I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna see how fast I can run from this motherfucker.
I will say we used to call them in the joint, but I'd probably get us took down if I said the word. But we used to call them gangster and the F word, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That ass. Yeah, we used to call them HOMO thugs, you know what I'm saying? Like back in the day, word up.
You being kept on the word.
Hey, since we on the subject of sexuality, be on the lookout for those. Be on the lookout for the homosexuals.
Oh, the hobo. H-O-B-O. He said H-O-B-O, hobosexuals. Yeah, go ahead.
Yo, hold on. You got to break it down for those that don't know, though, man.
Break it down.
See, this what a homosexual. A homosexual could be any gender, any race.
Yeah.
Is any homeless man around who lives in a car, who sleeps around just to have a place to sleep at night.
Yeah. Hey, but shout out to y'all, man. Shit's rough. Shit tough. Yo, man, but go to Myers. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got plenty of Myers out there in Michigan. I done slept at a bunch of Myers in my truck. Real talk. I'm telling you, man. Listen, man. I'm not capping, bro. I fuck with Michigan, bro. Y'all fucking Maynards and fucking Myers. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers, man. Yeah. I'm telling you, man. Fucking, yes, man. Y'all got so many motherfucking, what they call it, Jimmy Johns out there, motherfucker. Like, shit.
Oh, for you, because like me being in Arizona, and I was testing.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Where did you see more cops at though? In Arizona or over?
No. I live in Orlando, and Orlando Metro Beach.
Like, where did you see more cops at though? Like.
Oh, when I went out. Oh no, shit, in Detroit, bro. In Detroit? Hell yeah, son.
Oh,
in Detroit,
no, like, well, that's where I seen the least cops because we got
in Detroit.
Yeah, Blatonio was here. Yeah, we ride
through the
woods and shit. Yeah.
Yeah,
There's something out here, we call them green lights, and they're 24-hour cameras to the police station, so they don't have to police after.
It depends on what area. Depending on what area.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, but I'm saying Detroit's active. But that's let me tell you something, man, about Detroit. Detroit, like, first of all, okay, one thing that I love about Detroit, right, is that you motherfuckers, like most states, the drivers, you like getting mad as fuck. These fucking assholes, right? Because they driving like 5-10 under. Detroit niggas, they drive an average of 15 over. You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact.
Like Michigan itself, and it's a Michigan thing. And I love that. That means you're gonna get somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Like because if you got shit to do, the person next to you got shit to do too. And then the person next to that got shit to do too. Like Detroit and Michigan as a whole is a I got shit to do state. You know what I'm saying? Even if you ain't got shit to do, you want to get to doing that now.
Yeah.
And I love it. Love it, man.
We appreciate that, dog. We definitely appreciate that.
Hey, you got, yeah, man. I'm telling you, I've said this statement to many people I know. I said if I had to move to Michigan, I would be more than happy. More than happy. Any side, east side or west side, I'd be more than happy.
Me too.
Shout out to Flint, but I ain't gonna lie, I won't go over there. Your water's terrible.
Water is
and that's a fucking travesty. They never switched that up.
They need to do something about that. It's the government. They need to do something about that shit.
Yeah, they're still
100%. Shout out to the people in Flint. I love the people. Don't get it twisted. I'm just saying about the water.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So,
they wrong. They city government wrong as fuck for that.
Yeah. Well, it's obvious what they want. They want everybody to move out. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So here's what's gonna happen, right? So the people stay in Flint and they want change, they won't get it. The people leave Flint and they'll see how they fucking change that whole shit up. Flint will end up being the #1 leading internet city. You know what I'm saying? Like it'll be like, yo, where was the palace at in Michigan? Auburn Hills. Yo, it'll turn into like a better Auburn Hills because Auburn Hills is fire. You can't front. That's
like a rich Oakland County. That's like one of the richest counties.
Listen, you go to Auburn Hills, you know you somewhere different. I recognized it as soon as I went. I said, "Oh no, this is nice. This is alright over here." I could tell these motherfuckers got they pinky up. Here, you heard? Like, yeah. Yo, but Detroit, y'all motherfuckers be having mansions in the hood, yo.
Straight went by 7 Mile Woodward. They got all types of mansions over there. That's like
bro, am I proving my shit, yo? I was like, yo, you know what's ill? I remember I had to pick up this one car somewhere, right? And the guy was like, yo, where you Hindu guy, or Arab dude? Say, hey, buddy, where you at, man? Where you from? I said, yeah, I'm from New Jersey, New York. You know what I'm saying? He's like, oh, yeah, I could tell this. He said, oh, no, New York? I said, wait, what's wrong with New York? He said, oh, no, that place dirty. I looked around and said, bro, we in the Detroit hood. Are you serious right now? Yo, your AC unit is on the roof and It's in a cage, boy. Who's stealing a fucking AC from the roof and you got to put it in a cage? And you gonna talk about New York, bruh? Detroit is New York. What are you talking about? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I rock with it, but Dale, come on, bro. You can't be from Detroit and be like, oh, no, I won't go to New York. New York is dirty. Bro, stop. Stop. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is why I like it here, because it looks run down and it's fucking got vibrant people and great food. Like, I'm sorry, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's this. I see beauty in the destruction of fucking houses that are fucking boarded up. You know what I'm saying? Because it reminded me of the Bronx when I was a kid visiting my family, and the fucking buildings are burned.
There's
See why?
like beauty in it. Yeah,
You
what the
see?
rest of the world is ugly. It's like, no, it's beautiful.
Do you now hope can the viewers finally start saying, I see this guy clearer now. I see how he connects. You know what I mean? I'm not looking down on none of that shit. I embrace it because it takes a strength from within to be able to endure that, right? Because you got the strength to have to live through it, right? But then you got to also find the strength to come out of it. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. That's Detroit story. That's a New York story. That's you know what I'm saying. That's a Jersey story too. You know what I'm saying? Because you got spots, and that's another thing. Coming from where I come from, I Trenton, Philly, right across the water from Trenton, Newark, the Bronx. I'm surrounded. Now, mind you, I came up. I was good. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have middle class. Now, I grew up in an apartment, but we was in a good area, good town. It was cool. You know what I'm saying? My parents did that shit. Can't knock them. But one thing they made sure, they made sure that they weren't going to not expose me to shit. Where else we going to get the ingredients to make the fucking sofrito? We got to go to Trenton. Or we got to fucking get it from the Bronx. You know what I'm saying? They don't sell it at the Wallbound. You know what I'm saying? They don't, yeah. The white, you know what I'm saying? No disrespect, but I'm saying, but the white supermarkets, they're not going to have they're not going to have the ingredients. And it's not to them. Yeah, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, like, you had to go to those areas. Those were urban areas. So when I would go there, I would just be like, yo, this is dope. Why do we live where we live? Why can't we live here? It's more of us here. I feel more like, you know what I'm saying? Or New York, I would say, oh, I got all my family in New York. Why don't we live there? Why, you know what I'm saying? I didn't know until I got older. You know what I'm saying? Trying to move out of poverty and try to get into, a better situation for your family. You know what I'm saying? But you still got to you still got to go back home because you want your kids to, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, but that was my situation. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, man.
We appreciate you already sharing that with us, dog. I mean, that was dope.
Oh, it's over.
Pun, dog. I gotta ask you, was you in ciphers with Pun? Have you been in ciphers with Pun?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, great question. Yeah, so this is the dopest shit, right? Unfortunately I couldn't get to record nothing with him, but because out of me and my best friend, right? My boy Jay was, he loved hip hop too, but he just wasn't an MC. You know what I'm saying? And I always had just as much love for hip hop as he did, but my lane was MC. Like in my family, I had cousins that DJ'd, and I looked up to them because I wanted to DJ. But I had cousins that could draw, so they could do graffiti. I had cousins that could break dance, right? So everything in hip hop I tried to do. The DJing shit is something that I always love to do, and I can do that. I haven't done it in years, but nonetheless, I can get back into it and get myself back up.
Yeah.
But I already had a cousin that could do that shit. So for me, it was like, that's his. Drawing, I wasn't that good. Fuck it. Breakdancing, that shit was painful. I wasn't as flexible. That shit hurt. You know what I mean? I never pulled a muscle doing the running man, but I'll fuck my neck up.
My mom beat my ass for ruining her records.
Yeah, my mom was on that shit too. Like, you better not do no headspins. But I'm saying, like, I ain't never pulled a muscle doing a running man, but I know I almost broke my neck a few times trying to do some fucking breakdance moves, right?
Oh yeah.
So the only thing that wasn't being done in my family, my immediate family, is nobody was rapping. I'm like 8 years old observing this. Think about that. I'm 8 years old, observing these elements in hip hop, and I'm growing up in Jersey. Can't even, you know what I'm saying? And I said, okay, I want to start rapping. And then that's when I started to make the worst raps ever in my life. You know what I'm saying? But you got to start somewhere. You know what I'm saying? And it's led me to where I'm at now. You know what I'm saying? Even without the fame and the fortune, because I've been respected by my peers. And this, like I said, man, podcast is a whole new lane, and it's a great form of promotion for yourself as an artist. Just know how to do it without making it obvious you're trying to shove your shit down everyone's throat. Pause. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, bringing that up again. Yeah, like what you're saying is true, because we've seen a lot of people with podcasts that do that, and they really do. It's unnecessary. Like, it's cool to put a flash of something that's new, but don't always make that song every time either. Yeah. That's what
even for Off the Books, the opening song. Cuban was like, "Yo, I got this verse, bro. You could probably put that with that." So I was like, "All right, let me listen and hear it." So I did. He says, "Yo, you wanna add something? Maybe, you know what I'm saying, write some shit." I said, "Nah, man, because I'm in the back, bro. I'm co-hosting." The fan base for me is gonna continue to grow regardless, because as you watch content, you automatically get more familiar with the people that are on there. So I already know that's gonna be not an issue. But I also know that, the magnet isn't me, bro. The magnet to watch the show is you. So I said, and plus, that's actually a dope verse, and it fits perfectly for the fucking intro. Now, I created the intro. I do all the editing, and so I came up with the intro. But I had to edit so that it landed the way it was supposed to land, based on the music. So that's what I worked on. So it goes back to knowing your lane. You know what I'm saying?
No, I feel you on that, man. No, that's cool. I respect that. Yeah.
No doubt. So, did you get the sponsor for the dispensary? Like, what the fuck, man?
Oh yeah.
Fucking podcast.
What about the?
We're working on the sponsors with the dispensaries and shit. That's why I want to tell everybody to fuck with Detroit Runs. Detroit Runs. If y'all can see that.
Man, Runs are fire.
Yeah.
That's the dispensary, Detroit Runs?
No, the dispensary is called the Flower Bowl. It's called the Flower Bowl.
The Flower Bowl?
Flower Bowl.
Okay.
Yeah. But shout out to Leaf and Bud too. That BKX put me up on. That's actually T Grizzly got his strain of weed in there. A lot of rappers got strains of weed out here. Is it like that out there?
Like Big Hurt's brand, yeah.
So in Florida, like, we got dispensaries, but it's only for medicinal.
Okay.
So they don't have rec. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's
still there, because like in Arizona, we got recreational, but you don't have.
It's fucking whack here. Trust me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they put a cap on how much you can get, you know what I'm saying, for the month, which is fucking shit. You know what I'm saying? I think you get like an ounce for the month or something.
I'm kind of surprised being in Florida though. That's crazy. Yeah. Wow.
No, trust me. It's not, because it's not surprising, because this is a fucking retirement state.
Yeah.
So you're gonna deal with them. Yeah, you're gonna deal with them motherfuckers, and they come from states that are fucking already. Nah, let me tell you, but they also come from states that are built like that. You know what I mean? So they already have that mindset. Like, no, I don't want it. But bitch, you gonna die in 2 more years, and you don't have to buy weed, motherfucker. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
buy weed though.
Yeah, like I try to tell him, like, I don't know if you know how this works. You only get it if you go and buy it. Like, I don't know if you think that the shit's just gonna they gonna dump the shit on your doorstep and you're gonna get tired of it, or you're gonna see weed plants growing every fucking where. Although that would be the fucking greatest. That would be the greatest state in my life. You know what I'm saying? But the point is like, freedom is not restriction. Freedom is fucking choice. Period. If you want to smoke cigarettes and drink fucking alcohol, you should be free to fucking do that shit. But just because you hate weed so fucking much, you should not have the right to restrict me.
Exactly.
Simple. Again, another reason why I fucking love Michigan. You guys got fucking. I'm telling you, man. When Colorado passed the baton and that shit ended up in Cali listen, man, Michigan, you guys got the baton, in my opinion.
We appreciate that.
I mean, out here in Arizona, we got the same thing. It was like, Same
I'm
thing.
in. I got a podcast. Subscribe. It's called 420 The Buzz. We gearing up to relaunch. You know what I'm saying? But we're educational as fuck on that shit. You know what I'm saying? And I got some qualified co-hosts. You know what I'm saying? So also, if anyone's watching and you need some like real good CBD, high quality CBD, you know what I'm saying? You can go to volthealthus.com and place your order. You know what I'm saying? Put in the promo code CTR23 CTR, the number 2, the number 3. You know what I'm saying? So you can save additionally on the checkout. And I'm talking about high grade stuff. My boy Jimmy, the mad scientist, is a cannabis engineer.
That's what's up.
Not a connoisseur. I'm talking about a cannabis engineer.
Right.
Yeah.
First person I've ever met that can engineer cannabis. Okay.
That's what's up.
So I'm dealing with these kind of, you know what I'm saying, individuals. We working, man. We working, baby. And that's the beautiful thing about podcasting, man.
I want to make sure we get everything out there too, though, before we get out of here, because I know we've been
out. Nah, for sure. Listen, shout out to the whole Low Life family. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Low Life Orlando, Big Earl, Thurston Howell the Third. You know what I'm saying? Love you guys. Shout out. Man, let me tell you, bro. Shout out to my family too. Shout out to my kids, Destiny, Fabian, and Angel. You know what I'm saying? The grandkids as well, Ruru, SP, and Ellie. Of course, this fight, man, is crazy. I'm rooting for Cuban 100,000%.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a movie, man. They just promoted him. I don't know him, you know. So I'm just hoping that, you know, they do the right thing, man. The bags are right. Although I heard that it's not confirmed between Crazy Legs and Lord Jamal though. No, so I was kind of I was kind of confused why the promotion that out there. That's what I'm saying, man. You better do the right thing, Mr. Promoter.
I'm pretty sure it's like not much. Just sounds like Crazy Legs was all the way in. Depends on Lord Jamal.
Yeah, no, it sounds personal, and I'm pretty sure it is. I mean, look, man, when it comes to the creation of hip hop, what makes sense to me is what I saw. And what did I see? I saw blacks and Puerto Ricans. I did. I'm not gonna deny that. But what I saw, what things started to make sense to me in life with hip hop, that's not the beginning of it. So, you know what I'm saying? I could say what I saw. And I've had Dancing Doug, who's the first B-boy of hip hop, say that there was Puerto Ricans there, you know, this, that, and the third. But at the end of the day, Kurtis Blow said the same thing. They were, you know, there was plenty of Latinos that were black. I mean, in every shape, every shape. And
going to the whole thing of like we already know right there. It's like, you know.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, so it's a real thing that there was a lot of black Latinos that weren't giving it up. They weren't saying like, "Yo, I'm Latino." You know why? Because they didn't want to be the butt of a joke. You know what I'm saying? Because so here I am. I speak perfect English, right? Right? Let's say I'm just as dark as you know, my black friend or whatever. He doesn't know the whole time, but you see them ragging on Latino motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And if they see my mom or my dad, and she gonna have the broken English, or she gonna only speak in Spanish, I don't want to be made fun of. Like, I gotta go to school here. I gotta live here. I don't want to. You know what I'm saying? I want to be in problems because of this shit. So I'm gonna just shut up. You know what I mean? Or I don't also want to kill a motherfucker. I don't want to have to choke a motherfucker out. You know what I mean? Because that's my mom. You know what I'm saying? Or my dad. The point is, they were able to just coexist because they recognize I am black. I'm just Latino, but I'm black. Where you think I came from? My ancestors came from Africa. Period. FBA, Foundational Black Americans. Cool, but you do know where your ancestors came from, right? Africa. It doesn't start with just slavery. You know what I'm saying? Because you kind of, for me, it's kind of like shits on the, you know, Africans that were forced to come here. But at the same time, I can understand because foundational Black American culture starts in America, but it's influenced as well through ancestors. But I'm saying as far as the walk, the bop, jive talk, come on now.
Yeah,
Man, come on.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, real talk.
Like
Think about that. Jive is still engulfed in hip hop slang, and we don't even know it. So who can you equate to jive? Thank you. Shout out to my black people. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. I fuck with
I
you.
don't know what he's thinking about. He's thinking about my name on Instagram too, probably.
What happened?
Jive. But Jive, yeah, I know. I was saying I thought you were probably thinking about my nickname on Instagram was like Papa Jive.
Nah, we dropping gems, man. We
Yeah,
dropping
gems.
gems. And I want to drop these gems looking the way I look so that it's not misconstrued. And I'm not and I'm not cringing behind it. You know why? Because I am proud of that because I identify as I'm Latino, yes, but I understand that I have African roots. So I may not have slave roots, right? We don't even know what do we have. Not all of us, at least. I still have.
Like you talked about earlier.
I still got roots based on the slave trade, which created. Think about it. Which created also was part of the creation of the foundational Black American. Think about that.
There was a lot of Africans over here before slavery.
That is true too.
A lot of Africans wasn't forced over here.
That is right. There were free. Yeah, there were absolutely free Africans that had settled, had land before slavery became a thing.
Because if people pay attention to the map, you can look and see that South America is right across the water from Africa.
Yeah.
They've been going over to Brazil. Africans been going over to. They've been messing around in Mexico. They've been messing around in those islands because it's right there. That was their travel path to the Western world.
Yeah. That's it. Simple as that. But yeah, man, shout out to everybody that that's subscribing to the channel Off the Books podcast.
We hope you had a good time with us.
I had a great listen. I didn't have a good time. I had a great time.
Appreciate that.
I had a public conversation with 3 motherfuckers I never met in my life that I feel like I've known for quite some time. And that's content right there. You know what I'm saying? Wasn't forced, just a conversation. And that's good journalism. Because guess what? That's a good strategy too. And I know that we all use this shit. Sometimes I say I'm gonna save the first interview with somebody that's like, like that we look up to and shit like that. I'm just gonna make it like just mad cool, this, then a third, yada yada. Build my rapport. So that way if they do go through some shit, I could probably get them back and now we can spill the tea because they're already cool with me. And they know I'm not trying to just, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a real process. This podcast and shit is a real podcast. You almost have to have a fucking degree in psychology, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
In this shit. But yeah, man, I had a great time with y'all. Y'all already know what it is, man. It's your favorite Puerto Rican, GQdaembassy. Shout out to the, you know what I'm saying, the Hood Smokers podcast, not podcast. Just like 420 The Buzz. But you already know what it is, man. You tuned in right now. GQdaembassy, Hood Smokers podcast. If you're not here, you was never there. Period.
We look forward to having you back, homie.
No doubt.
Oh, anytime, man. Holla at your boy. It's all love. I'm saying I appreciate the love. You know what I'm saying? Real recognize real. And as day one, without knowing.
And possibly working with you if that's cool. If I can get.
Bro, it's always cool. And I appreciate your professionalism. Oh, before I head out of here, just to add on your professionalism, right? Whenever you do flyers, I'm not talking to us here. I'm just talking to the viewers or anyone that's gonna get a podcast or whatever. Anytime you do flyers, and I learned this from Kurtis Blow, make sure you don't put out the flyer until you know what I'm saying they approve it. You know what I'm saying?
Oh.
Because I had made that mistake before. You know what I'm saying? And to me, I'm like, yo, that's a great pick, this, that, third. But they just didn't like that angle. You know what I'm saying? Just whatever. But shout out to, like I said, man, the Hood Smokers podcast, man. they know how to do their shit right. Appreciate you guys.
Appreciate you, brother.
Man, appreciate that too.
That's GQ.
This is the hardest part, and actually, I want to clear it up that it's in no particular order. If you want to shout out anybody, get them. It's not on purpose. I always want to clear that up for people. But there's people on your mind that you might want to shout out. But if you forget to mention them, like I always,
right? Well, I mean, I'm gonna always shout out my brother Gervin. You know what I'm saying, for instilling me and all that stuff. And I'm gonna shout out Kenny. I'll shout out my ex-wife. You know what I'm saying? If it wasn't for my ex-wife, I wouldn't even have met Kurtis Blow, because it was through her best friend. May she rest in peace, Maribel. It was Maribel's son's mother. Rest in peace to Mike. It was his son's father. It was his son's father that had a lot of juice, had a pull, a lot of connections. So if I didn't get my ex-wife, I wouldn't have met her, and wouldn't have linked up with him, wouldn't have met Kurt. There's a lot of chain of events. The only thing, and that was on that side. Anything that I was linking on my side was pun. But again, if my best friend doesn't move to Jersey and we don't end up becoming best friends and this, that, so it's all by the weirdest coincidence, chance, or whatever you want to, you know what I'm saying?
Design. All by design, by Allah.
Yeah, the craziest thing that God can do. You know what I'm saying? That's real chess right there. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, but now shout out to all of them. Kurt, man, I love you to death, man. You're my brother.
Man, send them all away for real. Yeah.
Man, shout out to Liza.
Cleared up, and I don't want no weird blood. If it was like to other podcasters, it was like we did send him a mock flyer, but we didn't share it on our page. Just in case.
Who?
For Kurtis Blow, we sent him a thing, just like showing him for an example. So I don't know.
Oh, got you. Yeah, man.
Make it clear.
Yeah.
We didn't share it on our page though. If that was anything.
Right. Now,
we send mock flyers like from us. We'll do that, and it's not on our page.
I got you. Now, Kurt's the bro. That's family right there. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the Hip Hop Alliance. You know what I'm saying?
That's pops to me.
Yeah, man. Shout out to the humanity, the Coalition for Humanity. You know what I'm saying? Man, shout out, like I said, man, just shout out to Liza. It's been a long time. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to her. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to my brother Jay Strokes. You know what I'm saying? Again, another pivotal part of anyone that I was connected to. You know what I'm saying? On pun side. You know what I'm saying? So, and shout out to my brother Cuban. You know what I'm saying? Who goes on these platforms?
Also, like talk about like the Hill family, man. The Hill family, man. Much love. Right there.
Listen, man. Boo. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I haven't seen you in 1,000 years. Hope you're good wherever you're at, man. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate the form of inspiration. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to YZ. I never met YZ, but you know what I'm saying? I know he came to. I know he was at Russell's high school graduation, but even still, not shout out to YZ, man. Who's the man with the master plan? That was one of my favorite joints. You know what I mean? Poor righteous teachers, man. Listen, they can't give nothing.
Yeah, why?
Man. Like, come on, man. They Trenton, man. That was like that's about 20 minutes away from Hightstown.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's just 20 minutes. You know what I mean? So
I always find that it's symbolic, like when poor righteous teachers had that bridge right there.
Trent makes world takes. That bridge is still up to this day. I grew up going over that bridge. My dad worked in Trenton. Oh yeah, let me say, Trenton was one of my stomping grounds. As a teenager, you get your first whip and shit, man. Yeah, I was in Trenton all the time. My son Fabian, his mom was from Trenton.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, so I dated shorties from Trenton. I'm telling you, Trenton is the shit. But
world takes. So,
so Poor Righteous Teachers was a big influence in my life for sure. You know what I mean? Jersey, man, the whole Jersey, man. Jersey was like Biz said, can't forget New Jersey. You know what I'm saying? So I had the best of both worlds. I had ties in New York and I had my shit in Jersey. You know what I mean? And we spit crazy too. You know what I mean?
You got family out here.
Say again?
I said you got family out here in Detroit too, homie. So
Yo, dead ass. And speaking of family, man, shout out. My last shout out is one of my closest shout outs. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my cousin Ra Ra. Know what I mean? Love you, bro. And to my cousin Tone, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. I love you too, my baby. You already know. And fucking my cousin Ray, you know what I'm saying? You know, that's one of part of my inspiration too, because he'll never really rock none of my shit. So I'm always trying to get something to impress him. Nah, he's a supporter. I just like we're he's a supporter. He's a supporter. You know what I'm saying? But Rah Rah, that's like part of my promotion. You know what I'm saying? That's my cousin. So but yeah, man, listen, I love you guys, man. Appreciate it, Hood Smokers. I feel like we could rock an 8-hour fucking Debo and fucking Cuban Link fucking I can't believe Cuban's on this fucking shit. 8 hours with his man. I'm like,
we
bruh.
broke the records
And
when we
then
had Cuban on and shit. We broke our record like 4 or 5 hours. We went and shit. So and now we're on 3.5 hours right now. So
now we could rock. I ain't gonna lie, but you know what I'm saying. I get it. But actually, I got to start editing myself. I'm a little behind. Sorry, y'all. Saturday at 5. It gets hectic sometimes.
But definitely, I have somebody I'm gonna send your way that wants to record with you though. So
hey, yo, holla at me. Yeah, man. Like you know what I'm saying. If they serious about getting a feature, it's fine. Like I'm affordable. You know what I'm saying. But just come on, man. We gotta. When you get hip to doing business, you'll get hip to charging the business. You know what I'm saying. So that's it. Know what I mean? So yo, I love y'all. Hit me up anytime, and I mean that. Real talk. If y'all take out my shit individually on IG, DM me and hit me with your number, and I'll lock y'all in. You know what I mean?
No doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt.
So
It's definitely an honor having you on.
appreciate y'all, man. Y'all already know what it is, man. I don't know how to log off this shit, so you might have to do it for me.
All right, I got you, fam.
All you gotta do is
No.
like
Oh, I
hit that
see it. I do see it. This
the
and
red
that.
phone button.
Yeah, I don't
The red phone
What's
button.
that?
That's all you got to do. Hit the phone icon.
I got you, my brother. Appreciate y'all.
Peace and love, fam.
Smokers.
Yep.
That's
What love?
GQdaembassy,
Much love.
y'all. Make sure you find GQdaembassy everywhere. One word. You see it
All
up there on the
love.
screen. Make sure y'all subscribe, follow
Yep.
everywhere. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying?
sir.
Shout out to
Yep.
Jersey. Shout
Yep.
out to the Bronx. Shout out to Cuban Link. Gonna knock Hocus Pocus out in December. Get ready for that celebrity boxing. You know. Speaking of that, why don't we go ahead and just play this? You know what I'm saying? I want to play it and shit.
Yeah, I think I know what you're gonna play. Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta play it and shit. Fuck it, I got because this shit went crazy on Instagram. If y'all didn't know, it's over 20K and shit.
Shout out to you too on that.
Yeah. Shout out to Blatonio, Todd for putting this together and shit. But this shit went crazy on pretty much all platforms and shit. So let me play it. Play it right here. It's the first one right here. Let's go. Hold on, I gotta unmute it. How the fuck I unmute this shit? Hold up.
Oh.
I gotta unmute it. Let me rewind it. No, we'll blow it up. Hold up. Alright, here we go. No doubt.
Abracadabra, bitch. Hocus pocus, no. She said, no doubt. Bitch, what she really is.
Abracadabra.
Shout out to Cuban Link. He texted me while we was live, and he hearted the video and shit. So I know condolences. He just lost one of his homies and shit, a close friend. So condolences to Cuban Link and shit. So
Yeah, definitely sympathies and condolences. Cuban Link right there.
But shit, anything else y'all want to discuss? We got coming up May 3rd, that round table. That's going to be crazy. We got a lot of legends on there, from Black Sea to Cuban Link to fucking JD of the Lynch Mob to DJ Los to fucking shit.
Yeah.
Big Hurt, fucking shit. We got some Hussein,
And then
Westside
coming up,
Hussein.
we even got my good friend Ron Savage coming up.
Oh yeah, we got Ron B Stinger Savage coming up. comedy and entertainment. Comedy and entertainment, damn it. And
Entertainment. Listen.
might be a special appearance from Ron Savage from the future and shit. It actually might even turn into mostly a Ron Savage from the future and Ron Savage discussion going on a lot.
Yeah.
Too. I can see that happening.
Or art. Yeah, who knows?
That's next
And
Saturday
possibly
night, y'all.
Somebody.
That's next Saturday, y'all. So, and we reschedule with Hatch for this Wednesday coming up, so we get ready for Hatch Wise Guy Detroit in the building. Shout out to everybody.
I gotta make the flyer. That's for next Wednesday.
Yeah, next Wednesday. So,
Gotcha.
anything y'all want to say before we jump up out of here and shit?
I just want to shout out on my co-hosts, you know, Gutta, brotherkingx. Definitely shout out to the homie Dice. Parkhead Boy, everybody who always taps in with us. You know, Christopher Jordan, and I don't know. I'm not missing. You know, I'm not trying to purposely miss anybody. But I with most. Go ahead, y'all. BKX.
Much love to my two brothers on the other side of the screen. Much love to the hood smokers, because there's too many of y'all to name. So I'm just.
You was cutting out there at the end, but I think they know what you were saying, BKX. Right at the end.
Yeah. I was saying, no, what I was saying was that name. So when I say the hood smokers, about
too many.
It's still cutting out, man. Yeah, sorry.
It cut
yeah,
out right at the end. Some reason maybe the Beluganati's doing it and shit. I don't know.
It could be. Yeah, it could be.
I'm cutting out now.
No, you good.
No, you good now. But every time, yeah, like it goes there. The hood smoker, like
it was just that last couple words you said.
Who rocks with this? I think you're trying to say, right? Everybody who rocks with hood smokers, because
basically everybody that rocks with us.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
We out. This episode 330. Much love, y'all. We out of here.
Peace. Much love.
Yes, sir. We out. Much love, y'all. Thanks for tuning in. The Hood Smoker Podcast. Catch us every Saturday, Wednesday night.
Find out the guys.
Good evening. It's time.
Yes.
On behalf of the Hood Smoker Podcast, we would like to say, as the list of legends keeps continuing to go on and on and on, we keep the pushing strong. Enough platforms stir the pot, you don't have to
take that.
Enough platforms do that effort, you don't have to
take that.
Get your smoke, get your drink, get all your cake snacks, and get ready for the Hood Smoker Podcast. Welcome. Welcome.
Hood Smokers Podcast on Wednesday and Saturday night. Gutta and brotherkingx and Blatonio Todd. Hood Smokers Podcast on Wednesday and Saturday night. Gutta and brotherkingx and Blatonio Todd. What up, Joe?